Hello, what's going on, Pinball Land? This is Ken Cromwell with me, Bill Webb. We have a special treat for you guys tonight, right?
Oh, yeah, this is definitely a special night. Thanks to everybody that's already joining us.
I expect the chat to be rocking tonight. I expect what some might consider an epic stream. The reason being, tonight joining us from Studio B, Special Winlet Studios, and B is for Beatty. Steve Beatty's hosting us tonight. As you can see in the background, it looks a little bit different from Studio A. To our far left here, or on our table, we got Joe Katz. Now Joe went ahead and he's coded this game. He was a lead coder, so he's got a coding team that's helped him out, right?
Right, definitely.
But you took lead on this particular game.
I did.
To Joe's left, legendary programmer Keith Johnson is with us tonight. Keith, welcome to the Flip N Out Pinball stream.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. And then to his left, we've got legendary pinball up-and-coming rookie designer who did Pirates of the Caribbean. For those of you that missed out on getting your LE like I did.
You too, Greg.
You get a chance to see him tonight, and that's Eric Meunier. Eric, welcome to the Flip N Out Pinball stream.
Arr.
Arr, ER. So, and then on the far left off camera, Steve, if you wanna dive in here,
Jump in
Steve
here.
Beatty, our partner in crime tonight, as usual on our Flip N Out Pinball streams. I want to welcome you guys to the channel. I want to welcome you guys to the stream, and I want to tell you how much we appreciate your presence tonight, because what we're about to see with Willy Wonka, with the three of you gentlemen, is something that nobody's seen on the stream tonight, because we're just not very good at it.
Yeah, we'll see if we're good at it.
Pretty sure you got some time on it there, Joe.
A little
And
bit.
I mean, you might, just a little.
Couple things to note here tonight. We've got Pin Stadium, who is illuminating for streaming purpose tonight. Jersey Jack Pinball's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, so we appreciate it. We've got a new addition tonight, and that's the Pin Quest of the week. Now, Pin Quest, if you guys aren't familiar, go to pinquest.com, check that out. Essentially, you're able to go into locations where there are predetermined quests that you are challenged to accomplish, and by accomplishing those quests, you are rewarded with swag at the location in which you accomplished those quests. Now, tonight, we have been given, and when I say we, I don't say these established pinball players to the far left, but myself, Bill, and Steve Beatty have been given 3 different tiers in which we can try to compete or accomplish, and the rewards for us accomplishing that will actually be bits provided by PinQuest. Tier 1 tonight is a 500,000 point total. I sure hope that we can achieve that. Tier 2 would be a 1.5 million point score. I hope that we can do that. Tier 3 is 2 golden tickets. I hope with the proper guidance of the pros to our left, we might be able to achieve that too. So thank you for PinQuest joining the team.
Yes, thank you.
Without further ado, Joe, we'll start a 4-player game if you're up for
Sure.
it. Would you mind jumping on it? And if you can kind of give a basic overview of the game for those that are stepping up to it for the first time, maybe a couple objectives that would be something that you would particularly try to accomplish to get the game going and get yourself in a groove, I think it would be beneficial for everybody here.
All right, will do.
All right, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Joe Katz on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
All right.
Load her up with 4 and let's go.
There 2 added. There 3 added.
As he starts the 4-player game.
Now, did we set this to competition mode?
All right,
or did
so I
we
guess
change
the
anything?
first thing to do is to shoot the gobstopper. I think that's the most obvious thing. It's right in the middle of the play field. It will get you towards gobstopper multi-ball. And another real simple thing to worry about is just collecting Wonka bars, which would be any lit ramp with the red Wonka bar insert in front of it. I think you just start there and then kind of work your way towards maybe learning about how the factory tour works and what lights what. But I say we just start with the gobstopper and the bars first and kind of go from there.
Outstanding.
Nice.
So Keith and Eric, how was the drive out tonight? Pretty good?
Yeah, not too bad. I mean,
Good.
we came right from the office in Bensonville.
Typical traffic for me.
Right.
You guys came right from work, huh?
Yep. So it was a relatively easy drive.
Don't do that.
Yes, going home will be easy because I live about 10 minutes away.
And I live about an hour and a half away. So who's player 2?
Eric, why don't you step up? Well, Joe, I got to tell you, that
All
looks
right.
very similar to the first turn that I normally take on Willy
That's how it
Wonka.
goes.
Absolutely.
That's pinball.
I've got some
So-
confidence going tonight a little
Joe
bit.
talked a little bit about the factory modes, but I just want to go over them in a little bit more detail. There's 3 different chunks. So there's 12 factory modes that you can play. The 3 chunks are qualified in 3 different ways. The top set of 4 is qualified by hitting the captive ball. The middle 4, the playfield multipliers, are qualified by hitting the loops. You can see that the artwork here is outlined in purple. The lights are lit up in purple. they kind of make, they're color coordinated to help you understand what to shoot. Finally, the bottom 4 are the ramp and the factory target. So if you can hit that ramp 2 more times, I'll spell out Wonka, I'll qualify one of those modes. If I can hit the orbits 2 more times, I'll qualify the playfield multipliers, and if I can hit the captive ball twice, I can qualify the top set of modes. You can see those on the user interface, designed by the one and only JP to win, for the win. And so you can keep track of your progress up there, as well as on the playfield. So let's try to build some factory modes and go to town.
Let's do it.
Don't
Let's
do what I
it.
did.
I'll try not to do what Joe did.
I appreciate it.
Hey, everybody, we're going to still try and keep engaged in chat, too.
Absolutely.
Jobbers, we're actually at Steve Beatty's house. So, no, we didn't get a new basement. We're at Studio B. B for Beatty.
Studio B. B for Beatty.
But it's still sunny out, pin turn, so that's why I got the glasses. So, when I go outside, we're not searching for them.
Birdo Drink One has cracked open
All right.
his first beer. Go ahead, Eric.
It is much safer to shoot the gobstopper from a backhand. If you can trap up,
definitely.
hit it from the backhand. Pretty safe shot. So you can see from the UI up there, as well as on the playfield, don't really have a shot on the tower here, but the Wonka tower is flashing at you, showing you how many more letters you need. So I hit the ramp once, and 1 more letter. You can see that on the UI up top.
Everybody that's in chat right now, you can check the PinQuest tiers that I touched on there in the beginning of the stream. And with the rewards that follow, so thank you, PinQuest, for making it fun and interesting tonight, just like you're doing on locations everywhere.
So qualified Veruca,
Qualified Veruca.
which I could start if I shoot the TV scoop up there, but I'd rather stack it with a playfield multiplier. Let's see if I can bring that in and hit some orbits, as well as hit a captive ball mode.
Question from Gasoline. What does the Wonka light under the gobstopper indicate?
So the Wonka hat is the scrumdiddlyumptious combo rule. So while you're shooting around the playfield, ramps, loops, you are building up the word scrumdiddlyumptious, which is a 19-letter word, I believe.
Right.
And when that hat is blinking, you're able to collect the value that you've built up by hitting the gobstopper.
Okay.
The more letters you have when you collect it, the higher it grows in value. And obviously the key is to get it to be spelled, but that's a lot of combos, and you got to go for a really long time to get it to scrumdiddlyumptious. But then it becomes very valuable at that
Juicy
point.
spinner.
Outstanding. And what's even equally outstanding is that PinQuest jumps in with 2,500 bits. Kick
thank
the
you.
night off. Thank you, PinQuest. We're looking forward to it.
So now I've got 5x playfield qualified and golden egg room. And if I can hit that captive ball, I think 1 more time, I'll bring in one of those modes as well.
Pin Stadium is also going to be matching the bits donated by PinQuest tonight on any tiers that we go ahead and knock down tonight. So it's a rockin' night.
Yeah, I mean,
Big night.
We cannot have any excuse by not doing this right now with you guys in the building. So
Choo Choo Bob is wondering when the camera takes your picture, and you know when it's going to take your picture because the light on top of the camera toy, the mold, will be blinking red when it's going to take your picture on the next center ramp. So you hit a center ramp and that thing's blinking, it will take your picture.
right, okay.
Center ramp is what does it. Right.
Guess I'll go.
That's what's here. Stepping up to the plate, number 32, Keith Johnson.
All right, first 2 guys hit the rules pretty decently. I have a set way I like to start the game that I'm going to try and do. I'll try to explain it a little bit later.
Lord Helmet, thank you so much for the 1,000 bits donated. You guys are
Yes, thank you.
outstandingly, I don't even know what to say, just
Generous.
very generous
Great
and
people,
it's
man.
humbling. Thank you, guys. And thanks for joining the stream tonight. For those of you late to the party, we have Joe Katz, Eric Meunier, and Keith Johnson all streaming Willy Wonka from Special Inlet Studio B, Steve Beatty's outhouse, so to speak, of pinball, sponsored by the Flip N Out Pinball stream. We are the Flip N Out Pinball stream. So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
good
have
time.
you guys ever been in the garage like this? I mean, that's the best question.
I have not, but I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
good.
Any room that has more than 1 pin, I like.
All right. It doesn't matter if it's a dining room,
Doesn't matter.
kitchen,
And actually, it
bedroom.
doesn't even matter what kind of game. As long as it's got flippers on it, I'm in.
All right.
Jeff from This Week in Pinball has dropped in, and he says, "What's up, peeps? Awesome stream."
We got a few personalities in here. I saw Franchi.
Franchi kicked off the
Jobbridge,
stream.
Kaneda's in here.
Kaneda's in stream tonight. Good times. Good Gravy Dead Flip is streaming Wonka. Y'all have Wonka going. Buffalo has Pirate streaming.
Yeah,
it's
it's
JJP Mayhem night. And
Yeah,
I appreciate Jack kind of piggybacking on this with us. And promoting Wonka. That's you're double dipping on Wonka, and I can't think of a better pin to double dip on right now. And then you've got also Pirates being streamed by the powerhouse over at Buffalo Pinball. So it is a JJP night.
Hey, look at that, Keith. Look at that.
I know.
Look at that. Your hurry up's lit. Keith has never won that mode ever.
Joe Fox, thank you so much for the 100 bits.
He doesn't like our spinners on our
Joe.
prototype game.
Joe's the man.
Interesting rule that Keith is
All right,
working
yeah.
through.
So let me explain what I did there.
Straight down the middle, Greg. Thank you,
I
buddy.
started the
Thank
game
you,
by
thank you.
shooting the ramp to light Wonka letters, and then when my blue mode got lit, I'm pretty sure it started me on Welcome to the Factory. I shot the ramp 2 more times to get it up to Fizzy Lifting Drink. Now, Fizzy Lifting Drink and the Egg Room are 2 of the kids on the left side of the UI. So I started and completed Charlie. Through shooting the game, I've also got Mike lit. Looks like the left ramp is the only shot left I need, the center ramp. And I also have Augustus running, which is a combo shot, in this case, the right ramp to the center. So I'm going to try to go, ideally, center ramp to right ramp, and I should be able to get 2 more kids towards kid multi-ball.
Sounds like you're ready to blow it up there a little bit, Keith. Not going to lie to you.
Yeah, the key is to hit the golden bonus levels as quick as possible.
Okay.
If you're on your first ball, we really try to at least get 50. I mean, obviously 25 is a lot more doable, but
Right.
if you can get to 50 on your first ball,
Yeah.
you're kind of setting the pace there of like hurting
That
your
should be
opponent
Augustus.
pretty badly,
Makes sense.
especially when you start getting bonus X coming. I mean,
Right. 'Cause
All right, so I've lit 3 kids, and I've completed 3 kids. That'll be important later.
Now, do you want to park those kids until you collect all 5 before you cash them in for the multi-ball? I mean, what's the best way to do that?
ideally, that's the optimal way of doing it, is to have all 5 and as many of them as completed as possible.
Okay.
That will bring the most value into the multi-ball.
Gotcha.
It affects how many balls.
Steve Beatty's going to step up. Steve Beatty, our first attempt at the Pin Quest Tier 1 tonight. Brought to you by Pin Quest. Thank you.
And yes, you can ask whatever questions you like. So feel free to ask questions or comments.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Hello to everybody in chat. All the girls love bonus X. That is true. The girls love the long ball, as they said back in the 90s. They dig the long ball.
You just have to make sure you have the right tip on the shooter rod. You don't want to have the wrong shooter
I don't know
tip.
where that's going to go.
That sounds dirty.
It did sound a little bit dirty.
We were doing some pinball repair on another game earlier, and
See, and this is why I'm in last place.
Back to kid multi-ball. There's a lot of depth in that mode, rule-wise. So you can start kid multi-ball with just 1 kid if you want, and the kid doesn't even have to be completed. You can start kid multi-ball without a completed kid. They just have to be collected. You qualify a kid. There's 5 ways to qualify the kids. Different unique way for each kid, and then you complete the kids in their own unique way as well. So as you're going through the game, you're learning how to qualify and complete the kids.
Right.
And then you hit the captive ball in order to collect them.
Okay.
Once you collect a kid, you can shoot the left shot above the upper left flipper there in order to start kid multi-ball. Each kid you have qualified and brought into the multi-ball adds a ball to the multi-ball. Each kid you have completed and collected adds a 1x multiplier to that kid's jackpot and every other kid's jackpot you have completed and collected.
Including the
going
double and the super as well.
Including the double and the super. So you could, theoretically, if you do everything right, go into that with a 6-ball multi-ball and all jackpots at 6x,
okay.
which is huge. Would
Yeah, it's crazy.
blow the points.
And then, you could also bring a 5x playfield.
Right,
into it as
right,
well.
right.
And Joe, if you don't mind, we'll get this question out of the way for the evening. Do you see more clips synced with voices like we do see during the Wonka Vader multi-ball? Do you see that as an option in code going forward?
This seems to come up a lot, and it comes up a lot. The thing is, like, when you're playing the game and you're in a mode, and the mode is a 30-second loop of 4-second brief clips tied together, strung together.
Yep.
People are saying they want it to be synced, but really what you're going to end up hearing is like blah, 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 cut off, blah, 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 cut off. It doesn't really make sense to be syncing those particular clips together.
Okay.
Why not have speech from that scene that sets the scene that makes you kind of feel like you're in that scene when you're focusing on the ball anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're at a point in the game where the ball has been held and is stopped somewhere and you get to look up for a second, such as Wonka Vader multi-ball, that makes sense to sync the clip to the audio because you're able to see it.
It's that moment in time where you can get a chance to kind of look up to appreciate the synchronization of the clip with audio.
Right. And otherwise, it's just a big mess.
Okay. What about song assets? I mean, will we see, like, hear Veruca Salt singing a song or that sort of thing?
Well,
You know what? Take your turn, man. I'm like, you have 4,000 points. Come on, man.
so-
I don't need to be distracting you right now.
You're the guy,
We can
man.
revisit that when you come back. How's this game set up and playing comparatively to what you guys have been playing over in Bensonville?
I would say ours at the office plays a fair amount more brutal.
Okay.
Our standard is set up very mean.
Is this one of
Okay.
the games that you can increase the pitch of the playfield to make it more challenging without compromising the geometry of the shots?
It's hard to say. I mean, you can turn up the flipper. There's quite a lot of room to groove on the flipper power adjustment, so it's possible. I mean, in all cases, increasing the pitch of a game, making it harder, is kind of a red herring. One of the things that increasing the pitch of a game does is it lowers the side-to-side momentum.
It increases
so
your
the ball
opportunity
is
to
not
trap
in
up.
peril
Yeah.
as much. So
Right.
if you have a game set at 8 degrees, you're actually making it a lot less likely to drain down out lanes
Sure.
than a game that's set up normally at 6.5 degrees, or a game that's like set at 5 and is like playing on the moon.
Right.
So-
Where it's more floaty, but you've got more side-to-side action.
Right. So you could say it plays harder and faster, but the reality is it's just not true. It's the factory adjustment of 6.5 degrees is what the game is tuned for, and
So, and
you
on,
can make it faster,
Right.
but you're
Yeah,
not
but-
going to make it
Play better.
comparatively. You're not going to drain as much down the outlet.
on this particular game, Keith, then, is it safe to say that if you are to install all your legs with the feet all the way in the up position, it's set up how it should play? Or is there an adjustment that should happen on the back legs?
Well, yeah, by default, assuming a perfectly smooth surface,
Right. Assuming.
it should be 6.5 degrees.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's not like there are automatic leg levelers that will automatically make your game level if you're playing on,
A steeper game makes it easier to trap up, too, with your flippers because
Yeah.
you don't have the risk of it going side to side off. So
Yeah.
there's that trade-off. For those that like a faster game, it doesn't necessarily make it more brutal. It just introduces a completely different playing
right.
experience.
It makes it faster.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Jeff from This Week in Pinball says, love the sound of this game. Am I the only one? Sound effects need some updates, in my opinion. So the sound has been interesting to kind of discuss. And there are those that have an idea where they think it should be and those that appreciate where it's at. How did that go there, Eric? Saw a little brutality at the end there where you giving a little spanking there. in that pinball
Playing with my food here.
All right, so continuing from my last ball, the next thing I'm going to try and do is get Golden Egg Room started, and that will get me Veruca, and it looks like I missed. The Violet for the gum. I started her, but apparently didn't collect her. So
Joe, what's your favorite mode in the game right now? What's when you sit down and play? What do you want to get into?
I really like Kid Multiball. I find the collecting of the Super and Kid Multiball to be one of the most entertaining, challenging things that this game offers.
Okay.
If you happen to have like 5 balls on the playfield and you have that Super lit, it takes some serious skill to
Okay.
hit that really, really hard shot on the left when the balls are blocking you and
Yeah.
stopping you. I find a lot of entertainment in that.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what is a respectable score on this game? And when I say respectable, for I would say the average to slightly above average pinball player, where can they start feeling confident as if that they're progressing through the game in a semi-competitive level?
Well, we set the default high scores at 500K,
Right.
like the Grand Champion, for a reason. Like if you can beat that, you've experienced quite a bit of the game.
Okay.
You know, you seem like you probably have your
Nicely done, Steve.
stuff together. You know, and that's a good score to shoot for.
500,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, this is going well.
Not 44,000
No
as the
Wonka
lead
bars.
designer of the game.
And ironically, 500,000 is the tier 1 on the Pin Quest tonight for the Special Willy crew. So we're going to try to attempt that. 1.5 million is tier 2, and 2 golden tickets is pin is tier 3. And let's see what we have here. Lord Helmet says, if you can say, do you have any idea when the LEs will start shipping? Now, Jack told us last week that the LEs were on the line.
Right.
Is that something you can comment on at this time?
The LEs are definitely coming. So the way the facility's set up is we have a bunch of standards built for overseas.
Yeah.
We want to finish those containers first with the
Okay.
LEs. So the LEs are going overseas first to finish off the containers we have. But then they'll be coming
Makes sense.
domestic very soon.
Nice.
Well,
Very
they
good.
take a lot more time to get out there anyway, so.
And everybody should have their CE in about 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks. Keith, you okay?
Yeah, quick shout out to my daughter Katie Bug, who is apparently watching the stream.
Hey, Katie Bug, what's
Love you,
going on?
dear.
Yeah. Dad's here and he's
Way to
tearing it up.
support your dad.
He's holding some court tonight. So we were all very humbled and thankful that the JJP crew came in. And again, with Joe Katz,
go.
Keith Johnson, and Eric Meunier, all here tonight, taking us through Willy Wonka in a way in which we have not been able to do. So we're learning tonight
no
as
problem.
everybody
It's
else
awesome.
is. Thank
I
you,
promise
guys.
I'll play better.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of getting in on this.
There we go.
Notably, Eric has started Super Spinner, which means every spin of the spinner awards 1 Wonka bar.
And I started Wonka Vader Multi-Ball because Beatty locked up 2 of them for me. Thanks, Beatty. So I came in and sniped that.
Guys, a little
Oh, I'm
update
going to rip that spinner
with
all
the
day
bits
long.
straight
That's
down the middle.
worth
Greg,
Wonka bars.
800
Got
bits,
2X.
thank you. Sorry, Eric. Chris, the pin turn, 100 bits, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Andrew with 100 bits and another 500 bits. Thank you. Joe Fox, 500 bits. Joe Fox is the Rockefeller of the stream. Thank you so much,
no
buddy.
kidding.
Thank you so very much. Slap Save Pinball Podcast with 500 bits. Thank you, guys.
I gotta,
Andrew
throw,
with 500.
throw a shout out to Joe Fox. Joe, I might have a lead on a mousing around.
I'm not sure how,
Oh,
how
Just saying.
Hey,
I'm looking forward to lighting another one.
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Andrew Kett, thank you very much for the bits.
Pacific
crazy.
Trim says Oompa Loompa Multi-Ball was added after the flowchart was revealed. Can we hope for more additions potentially later?
Right now, the game is rules complete.
Yeah.
But you know, if you know the history of our games at all, you know that we like to tinker, so
Surprise.
to speak.
Oh,
So
terrible.
Didn't
yes,
you-
the game
you
is rule
recently
complete right
had-
now.
yeah.
But you know, who knows?
You recently had a WAS update, didn't you?
There's updates coming out.
Yeah,
all the
I
time
mean,
of
pretty
different
frequently,
games, you know,
so.
Yeah, the WAS update was largely to support Yellow Brick Road.
No.
Okay.
But, you
Eric.
know, you never know.
Yeah, that's good.
Oompa Loompa Odyssey was lit.
Oompa Loompa Odyssey is one of my favorite modes in the game. And
That's
I've
just
been
because you
able,
haven't gotten to the other ones yet.
I've been able to get to it twice. Yeah, right. So, Keith, I can only speak of what I've experienced, buddy. And hasn't been so much, but what I've experienced, I've enjoyed.
Yeah, Oompa Loompa turned out really good. We were sitting around trying to figure out what the UI should look like for that mode, and we're just like, why don't we just turn the UI around and make it face the player and see what that looks like and sort of see.
It's awesome.
Like what you see in the back when you see Oompa Loompas walking around in the back. Like, what do they see when they're looking out this way?
Yeah.
And we're like, well, let's try it and see what happens. And we did it, and we were like, wow, that's actually really cool. And they're like, why don't we just show a live camera at the same time? Because,
Right.
we could do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it turned out really fun, and I think it's a golden ticket mode / if you want to call it a wizard mode, I'm kind of referring to them as golden ticket modes.
Yeah.
But it's something that a casual could get to almost
so much
by
of
law.
feature like that.
They could almost just fall into it because
Right,
it's all
right.
about just the gumball machine achievements mostly.
And that's
you
fun.
can just get those
Right.
randomly.
Because you're
Oh, yeah,
exploring
yeah.
something, you're
Right.
falling into something that you weren't predetermined to see, and
Right.
but you discovered it, and it makes you want to get back there again.
Exactly. And it sort of fills you in that there is something called a golden ticket in the game. There is something to do.
Yes.
Now, yes, you're getting this one kind of lucky, and you don't really know how you got it, but it kind of says, oh, there's more here. There's more to do.
Quick shout out to Zach. Zach, I think you kind of nailed it with this. Name a shallow JJP pin.
Exactly.
Right.
Cheers to that.
There's a question
So-
for Keith.
Let me
not
give a
Wonka
shout out
related.
to Todd real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
Gravatar. What's
Yeah.
up, man?
What's up, Todd? How are you, buddy?
stuck
Any news
ball here,
about
guys.
Pirates 1.0 code, Keith?
Still working on
There
it.
it goes. I think it was stuck in the trough.
It's pending.
It's coming, I promise. We haven't forgotten about it.
That's a dangerous shot.
But there's lots of other things going on too. Trying to get it done when I can.
Man, Chris Franchi with
Chris?
5,000
Wow,
bits, man.
thank you, Chris.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
dang.
Super, super nice of you, buddy. I really, really do
I have to
appreciate
start
that.
stripping with that kind of buddy.
Zen
Jeez,
full of,
Chris.
yeah, well, it's, what is it? Bits for nips, I think was what
was-
Steve Beatty was getting ready to do.
That was
a little
the
earlier. That's a
quote
little
last
crazy.
week, I think.
And Zen, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it.
Gasoline had a question. How do you obtain dot candy LEDs, and what does the color changes on the dots mean?
So the LED score display can just be changed in the settings. There's 6 or 7 colors you can choose from. Doesn't mean anything. It's just for fun. It's just for someone who likes to customize their game, and maybe they prefer green or blue or white. I really like the white one. That's why I turned it on white when I got here. I just kind of, I think the white looks really cool.
Let me show you that setting quick.
Yeah, I don't know if, yeah, I guess they can see that, yeah, through the,
Yeah, are we doing a capture? Is it on?
it's not a capture, but they got a camera on it, so they
Okay.
can see it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
under
true.
System?
That's
It's
true.
under game settings.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, nice.
So let's make it blue for the next game.
Right, and you could also change the gumballs to be steel balls instead of gumballs that show like the game
Not
of
sure
how many
if you're gonna
balls.
want blue, but
Yeah, go
Let's pause real quick for a little station identification on the Flip N Out streaming network. We are back live in Studio B of the Flip N Out Pinball Streaming Network. Thanks everybody for joining us with us today.
Probably, but
Obviously, my partner in crime, Special One Lit, Bill Webb. To his
Hey,
left,
Turbo.
we have Joe Katz of JJP. We have Keith Johnson from Jersey Jack Pinball. To his left, Steve Beatty is here, our partner in crime, Special One Lit. And then Eric Meunier from Jersey Jack Pinball as well. Steve, did you hit any of the Pin Quest tiers in that first game, buddy?
I did not.
What was your score?
Eric did. 265.
All right, so you're right there. So one of us has to cycle in for game 2. Did you want to do that, Bill, or do you want me to jump in on game 2?
No, we'll give it a shot.
All right, so Bill's going to go game 2.
go for it.
It looks like I'm batting third tonight on the But let's go ahead. Let's fire up another 4-player game, and let's keep the rotation the same so we don't get confused.
Thanks, Lord.
If that makes sense.
So you can see I changed the display to yellow scores this time. because
Hey!
Why not?
Right, a little
Why not?
customization.
I guess I'll go first.
Grandpa Joe would have made a great bash toy, Chris the Pin Turn says.
Can't go any worse than it did.
Joe, you don't have to be bashful now. It's all good.
And W Fume 2 is offering bits for collector edition details. Interesting. Lord Helmet says, Joe, Keith, Eric, I love the light show Wonka has. So nicely done on the light show.
Nah, Ryan's in here, too.
Buddy
Happy-
Ryan Kuiper, TurboGrafx 7,
Happy belated birthday, brother.
saying hello to everybody.
yeah, the lights are kind of a canvas. I think everyone had a lot of fun painting with it on this game.
If you look in chat right now, you'll see the Pin Quest Pinball Challenge of the night. Our quests for us for additional bits. Pin Quest kind of jumped off or started the stream off with a generous 2,500 bit donation, and he's offered to increase the bits if we're able to hit the tiers that are outlined below. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so you just did a super skill shot, which you can activate by holding the left flipper when the ball's in the shooter groove. It's a combination of both skill shots. So you basically have to short plunge it to the center ramp and then in a combo shoot it into the TV. It does.
And no missing.
Yeah, no missing. It does quite a few things for you though. It advances all the factory tours by 1.
Wow, okay.
It gives you, I believe, 10 candy in your candy jar. It gives the most points. It also advances your bonus X by 1. So it's really valuable if you do it.
Now,
And
Keith,
bonus can be huge in this game.
Yeah.
So, especially later on in a ball, like you lock a ball, you probably want to try for the super because normally you get bonus X by bashing the gobstopper. It's 2 times for 2X, 3 times for 3X, etc. So by the time it gets up to like 7 or 8 hits needed, the super skill shot becomes a really, great thing to shoot for in order to get the easy bonus X.
There is a question from Flat Dad Butt Keith asking if you were the first to create an award called Little Points in a pinball game.
So not my intention to start kid multi-ball here, but
Maybe. What did Lord? I think Lord had big, medium, and either small or little. I don't.
Lord of the
remember.
Rings.
I find it hard to believe I'd be the first on that one, but
Hey, Chris, we don't have the direct audio video set up for a couple different reasons, but that'll be something we'll be adding to a future stream. More than likely more direct video than audio.
got my jackpot at least.
Step at a time. We're evolving here at the Flip N Out Pinball Streaming Network. Poor Man's Pinball Podcast has jumped in with 500 bits, guys. We appreciate
Hey, thank
that.
you, guys.
Very, very much. Very, very much, guys. Thank you.
that's me.
Poor Man's Pinball Podcast out of the Milwaukee area of Wisconsin. Eric, have you got a chance to listen to a little Poor Man's Pinball Podcast?
I have not, but from my home state here, I might have to.
Yeah, they are residing high in the home state, and they've got Ryan Kuiper, TurboGrafx 7, that's
Right on.
on team with you, and they love you, evidently. So, very, very nice.
Chris, we don't really discuss the system, so you're kind of wasting your time asking questions like that.
Whoa!
I enjoy the fact that he asked.
Yeah, I mean, we all like good questions, but, you know.
Yeah, there's some just
It's
company
it's
IP stuff we
it's
can't
a
talk
company
about.
IP. I mean, we can't.
If you're wondering what happened there, the kickback, it went down the lane so fast, the kickback failed to fire, so it gave the ball back to me.
Someday I'm going to be able to play this game. I promise.
Is that day today?
Oops.
I see Zonrith is in chat, so Zonrith. Dennis Kriesel from Eclectic Gamers, thanks for joining us. It's a celebration of Willy Wonka tonight.
That's a
I
full night.
really don't want to accidentally start inventing room here because I want one of the other two. So I'm going to go ahead and hard plunge this ball so I don't accidentally start it by dumping the ball into the saucer.
Right. Like he said before, his strategy is always to start a kid mode first. There's 2 kid modes in the lower set of 4 factory modes. So he wants to give Fizzy Lifting Drink a golden egg.
WFume2 asks if
doesn't
And he
Wonka.
started it anyway.
WFume2 asks if Wonka will be at Southern Fried Gaming Expo this weekend, and I know for a fact that it will. And this channel's sponsor, Zach at Flip N Out, will have I think a couple different Wonkas there, including a I think he's got a show game, or it might be a standard, and he also has one that Jersey Jack Pinball has given him on loan up there that might be an LE potentially. I don't remember what he said. Maybe Zach, if you're here, you can kind of give us an idea. But if you're looking to buy a Wonka, you can contact Flip N Out Pinball, and you can absolutely get a hold of him. He's got all models available for purchase.
Yeah, you know, Todd points something out about whole bonus. It's one of the ticket awards that you get for the Wonka bars, and it's super valuable just anytime, but it's extremely valuable on your last ball.
Okay.
Because it gives you a true double bonus. Kind of an old school thing where, like, even if you have 8x and you have 150 bars, you're going to get 150 bars times the value times 8x.
Okay.
Times 2.
Right.
So
Okay.
you could close out a game and it just be monster.
And this is Joe Katz, who was lead on programming Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, just so we can put names with voices and faces. And to his left is Eric Meunier, the designer behind Pirates of the Caribbean or Caribbean, Tomato.
I go Caribbean.
Do you? I go Caribbean too. Not a Caribbean guy as much as I am a Caribbean. And then lurking in the background by the class of 1812 is software engineer Keith Johnson. For those of you that are in pinball, I'm sure you're aware of who he is. PinQuest has a question for the JJP crew. How difficult would it be to extract game achievements into a QR code at the end of a game like you do with scores? For PinQuest locations, it's currently limited to scored targets, as there's no way to prove other achievements. Is there a way to recognize achievements with QR codes on your games?
I'll let Keith answer that one.
Sounds like some PinQuest integration questions going on. I enjoy it.
I mean, we're open to suggestions or, whatever.
Good brother.
I actually had the idea a long time ago to like do the most important thing you did. Like, I actually started this in Oz and I never finished it. But the idea was to be, I scored 700,000 points and it melted the witch in JGP's Wizard of Oz.
Right.
So
Lead programmer on the game, folks.
yeah, there's definitely room for stuff like that.
That's such a dig, man.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's just
At the
like,
time,
I'll
don't
give it
forget,
back.
Though, Twitter was only 140 characters.
Yeah.
So I was running out of space fast, or the messages were going to be like 5 characters long.
Right,
So
right.
it's like okay, but now it's 280. I can write all kinds of stuff in there. So.
But you guys still have the QR codes on all the games where you can upload your score to Twitter by snatching that QR code for auto
Yeah,
upload.
it's still in there.
Do you find that
it's
as
just
something?
implemented as a Twitter intent?
Yeah.
So you scan it, your favorite thing can launch the URL, and if your phone's set up right, it'll just open up the Twitter app and wait for you to hit send, or you can edit it or whatever.
Awesome. Chris the Pintern, thanks for the 100 bits, man. We totally appreciate it. And thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Watching the masterminds at Jersey Jack Pinball expose Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and all its deepest, darkest secrets.
I guess.
Yeah, with the
Not
exception
going
of
that
Joe.
well.
Joe's holding back till when I get in there because he knows I'm the potential threat here. So he's holding all of his good long ball times. Player 3. Now, how are you doing, Bill? Are you getting close to PinQuest Tier 1 of the 500,000 points?
That ball was done too promising.
Just a bit outside?
Is this
Just a bit
between us
outside.
three that are going for this pin quest?
Yeah, although maybe I should be going for it.
Yeah, maybe you should be in on this.
Yeah.
PinQuest says thanks for the answer, so that's good times. Melted the Witch is one of the greatest wizard modes. Lock one ball, shoot the witch, and then the balls so you're can. From Marlon. Marlon's our guy from Brazil, so I appreciate that he's in chat. Pacific Trim, my SE arrives Wednesday. Zach's new video was amazing. Gonna roll out to the curb tonight, bright daylight with my flashlight, ready to send it back. Well, I don't even know what that means. I don't know what you're sending back, but if you're sending pinball machines back, let me give you an address you can send them to, because I'll happily take them. Joe Fox at Slap Save Pinball Podcast. Yours is in Ohio as of today. So do you guys do a lot of Twitch streaming out of JGP Bensonville these days? Because I know when Pirates was rocking and rolling, you guys did it pretty frequently. I didn't notice the cadence with Wonka. Was that intentional or just a matter of what was going on?
It's time. We want to do more streams.
Yeah.
But it's got to get in everyone's schedule. Got to fit it in. Got to be able to find the time.
You guys had a
and-
couple though, right? A couple Wonkas.
Yeah, I think we've done one Wonka.
One Wonka, okay.
We've done one Dialed In. I think we've done one Hobbit or two Hobbits. Yeah, we want to do more. We just don't right now.
No, that's good. I'm glad that
We're
you're
starting to
here.
get more and more going on.
Yeah.
So less and less time.
I like that you jumped
I got
on
the
the
no
stream.
bonus screen. All right.
I missed it. So is that a little Easter egg, the no bonus screen, or
Well,
you
normally,
want to talk about that a
the
little
game
bit?
is set so that you can't have 0 Wonka bars. But you can turn on the ability to have no Wonka bars.
Right.
And if you don't get anything, then you get no Wonkas. Don't ask.
Pat wanted it set so that people get at least 250 points for their bonus.
Yeah.
But maybe we're just meaner because we really like the no Wonka bar screen, so we wanted to set that here for tonight.
Pat wants a positive experience on location. where
Whereas we're assholes.
right.
I just wanna,
You want something a little more humiliating.
Yeah.
It's like, please, come back.
That's our kind of pin quest right there, though.
Right. The 0 bonus pin
zero
quest.
bonus.
Where we owe PinQuest like 2,500 bits. Reverse.
we're at ball 3 here, and Joe is in dead last.
Again.
No pressure.
Again.
Question for the JJP crew. We've asked that question early in the stream, but thanks for coming in here. That's been addressed. Chris the Pintern going to see 500% in people not signing off on the delivery now, haha, as a joke. What do we have here? Already discussed. Chris says it's I did. All right, hey, everybody's saying it's already been discussed. So yeah, Joe addressed it.
Yep.
So that's good times.
Slugworth multi-ball.
So what's the deal with Slugworth multi-ball? Is this just kind of like a let you feel good about yourself because you got into a multi-ball?
No.
not really. It's a quick
Can
multi-ball.
it be lucrative? I mean, can you
It
blow
can
up
definitely be
Slugworth
lucrative.
multi-ball?
So you hit your ramps in order to qualify the captive ball for your hurry-up jackpot.
Yeah.
So the quicker you cash that in, the more valuable it is. The intricate rules, Joe definitely knows better than anyone else because I think he wrote
But
them.
basically, if you collect a jackpot, your next jackpot will start higher. So you just collected that for 6720. Now his jackpot starts at 12,000.
Yep.
So it just keeps going up each time. If you time out the jackpot, then it kind of resets to a much lower value.
Am I happy with the answer? Yeah, I accept the answer. I mean, again, we got to see where everything goes, and as of right now, I appreciate the honesty on the answer. So, yeah, I mean, I'm content with what's been discussed right now. Pins rule. That's our buddy Dr. John. Good to see Keith looking well. That's Mr. Keith Johnson over there. And is he contributing to the rules as well as Joe? Because Joe's had lead, and Keith, you have your hands on this game a little bit.
I make suggestions like anyone does.
Yeah.
Some of them they listened to, some of them they didn't. It's fine.
When you make a suggestion, are you more aggressive with your suggestions? Like, this sucks.
Or
are you like, hey,
I don't really
I-
need to be very often.
There you go. Good.
Ultimately, I run the department, so it's up to me to make sure that nothing really bad goes out the door.
Throwing it down
And I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah, I
but,
mean, your name's on
it's
everything
not-
that goes out the door.
What was
so.
that?
I said your name is on everything, too, that goes out the door. So, I mean, it seems that you guys, when we walked into Jersey Jack Pinball, I mean, and it sounds cliche, but there's camaraderie as a team at JJP. And it was fun going in to see the game before it was announced because it was fun to see the excitement on everybody's faces when they kind of watched outsiders come in and play the pin for the first time. But it was great because it was like unifying. Like everybody that was there was generally excited to see what was happening and our reactions, and we
Oh, for
appreciate
sure.
it.
Well, yeah, it was the first time outsiders had really played it all, right? Because that was before Midwest, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, we hadn't put the game on test outside or anything.
Right.
So it was the first time, others had played the game other than us.
Well, and when we went in there, just the energy that you guys had while we were in there, showing us the game, walking us through the game. I mean, you can't buy that kind of
Passion.
passion at all. I mean, that was just inspiring.
All right. TurboGrafx 7. Ryan, thanks, man. 1,000 bits. Totally not necessary, but completely appreciated.
Got that extra ball.
Thank you so much for helping the stream. Now,
and
Joe, what's your score right now? Are
It
you?
doesn't matter what my score is right now.
Because
Let's
you're
talk
you're
just
busy
about your
articulating your approach to the game.
Let's just ignore the score
Right.
for now.
I gotcha.
So I want to point out real quick, Eric ended his ball with
Is Joe gonna
97
put a
Wonka
flip-
bars.
Yeah.
All the ones on the right are kind of like an old school super bonus. So if you hit those thresholds, it'll remember that for the rest of the game. So he was a nice. If he gotten 3 more bars, he would have been 100 and would have started the next ball with 100 Wonka bars. But now he just starts with 50.
NS Pinball's asked a couple questions that have been answered, but I'll just mention them again. The Gobstopper, the hat under the Gobstopper is for Scrumdiddlyumptious combo, and the colors on the LCD don't mean anything. They're just fun to customize. You're free to change. I think there's 7 colors in there. You can make it whatever you want.
What's your favorite LCD color currently?
I really like white. I don't know why. I think
like
the white
white,
looks
too.
really good.
It looks sharp. You're used to seeing everything kind of color bound
Yeah.
in pinball. When you get a nice, pure, true white,
Yeah.
it does stand out.
I'm a big fan of the white.
Gotcha.
That sounded bad, but the white LCD.
Didn't sound bad until you just said it sounded bad.
Oh, well, yeah, he doesn't matter.
Fellow
I watch him play enough.
Fellow programmer, JT Harkey at JJP.
I watch him play. He can't say anything to me, so it doesn't really matter.
Another keyboard hero, huh?
Yeah, well.
You got to put a flipper code in for like a 500,000 point bonus in for you.
And then NS Pinball says, sorry, I meant the colors in the mini LEDs around the magnets.
Oh, well, those indicate mostly when the magnets are active. There's also a rule attached to the targets for just wailing on targets that will get you an award. The first award's an extra ball. So it also is filling those in while you're doing that. And then anytime a multi-ball's running or a mode's running that uses the magnets, they're also blinking. White, I believe.
Hey, a couple quick things real quick. We had a new follow. Gurga Trader, thank you so much. And Slap
buddy.
Save, our buddy Chris Haper has subscribed via Amazon Prime. So welcome to the team and welcome aboard. We really appreciate it. I do want to address, NS Pinball said that he apologizes for the retread on the questions because he joined late, and there's no reason to apologize.
No, it's
we
fine.
We need to know our audience, right? I mean, there are
Yeah.
people that are going to be coming in and out all
Yeah,
night.
no, it's fine.
And if you feel like you need a question that needs to be answered, I think we're all happy to answer those again. So that's
Definitely,
my
yeah.
fault
Yeah.
for not being more on point with that. Go ahead, Eric.
One of the JGP standbys, I earned an extra ball, but you see I didn't play it right away. Because We like the idea of playing your extra balls at the end of a game, so if everyone else doesn't have to wait around while you play extra ball after extra ball, so everyone else can go drink a beer while you finish your game.
Or go home while you play a
Right.
game,
Or
because
go
God
home,
only knows how
exactly.
long you're going to go, Eric, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I got some work to do here.
Slap Save Pinball Podcast with 1,000 bits. Man, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you. Thank
Jason Fowler, the host over there at Slap Save Pinball Podcast. Thank you very, very much. We got back-to-back. Slap Save and Slap Save Pinball Podcast. Good times. So Keith and Joe, how often do you guys get out and just hang out and stream in strangers' garages?
Do what?
How often do you stream your newest pinball machine in off locations with strangers?
Yeah, I think this might be the first
There
time.
you go.
Yeah.
Good. Only on Flip N Out.
Unless you consider MGC, an on-location thing, but
everyone's
that was just a
friends
big
at
blur.
MGC.
I don't even remember that weekend,
Yeah.
so you know.
Well, I mean, we did have the van with free candy on the side, so that
That's right.
helped. You know,
That's right.
Drag you guys here.
Yeah, Chris the
Dad's
Pintern
first
says,
golden ticket.
don't mention the big bucks that we're making on this. And he wants to know where he can pick up a shirt again. Joe Fox with 500 bits. Joe Fox
Thank you,
has
Joe.
been like single-handedly funding the stream the last couple weeks.
It's almost like he's hacked Twitch and just has bits coming out of
Right.
everywhere.
He's
Yeah.
got like some time
like-
Twitch thing where he can go back in time and keep reusing the same thing. Thank you, Joe. It's always nice of you to be here. So.
Playing for it.
Thank you, man.
Keith, will you be at Pinburg this year?
Of course, I'll be at Pinburg.
Yeah, I mean, who would miss it?
Nice.
I haven't missed it yet.
Yeah.
Now, you compete in Pinburg, obviously. So what's the highest you've placed? Will you both be there? Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Don't do it.
I placed third in the first one.
That's pretty incredible. What about you, Joe?
I have yet to qualify A at Pinburg.
Yeah.
But last year, due to a
I had the wizard mode
terrible
ready.
decision by me on my last game, I would have been the highest qualifier in B, but I made a very bad decision while I was playing my last game, and I ended up in second in B. And then I got a couple buys, and then by the time I played, I was just like off.
Okay.
On the finals day, I think I ended up in I don't even know what place, but I typically qualify usually in B. But yeah, that's the tournament to go to if any of you are looking to play in a tournament kind of and talk to people and hang
Yeah,
out.
right.
That's the one to go to.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
Okay. I've not been to Pinburg. I am. Well, as you can tell on stream, a very nice little shot there of yourself there, Eric.
Well, at least I didn't get last.
Can I say this? This is one of the more, call me crazy, but one of the more cool, I think, animations is that match screen sequence.
Yeah.
With the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It presents well. It's theatrical, and then it's very true to how you would expect them to move. And I think that's a really good job on that. I like it.
And actually, that's the scene of them signing the contract. That's the same.
That's awesome.
Room, quote unquote.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like the contract's in the back of
That's
the wall.
right. That's right.
If you look at the contract on the back of the wall in the match, there's actually like our own little bit of text in there that we sort of put there that replaces the text that's actually on the contract in the actual movie. It's kind of a fun little pinball,
Right.
Easter egg, I guess you can call it.
Here's a great question that I wanted to ask you guys, and it's from Gasoline. He says, the extra left outlane post that comes in the cash box, do you guys recommend the install on that for the left drain, or does the pin play more to where you guys wanted it without it?
Well, it's defaulted out to make it a little bit shorter for location. If it's at home, I mean, you can put it in there. It's
All right,
definitely
so
gonna play-
hey, let's get that post out. Let's get those pin quests.
definitely
and
gonna play longer
The rubber
with
band
it
that goes
in there,
across the
there's no
flippers,
doubt.
get that out.
Yeah, it'll definitely play longer.
Okay. I
Right.
tend to have the problem with the right out lane versus the left, but when it goes out the left and you notice there's not a post there, it's an extra kind of kick in the ass. But good times. You guys. So now it's my turn to get in and try to attempt to get into the pin quest tier 1. So if you don't mind, I'll play with you guys for the third game.
For the record,
You'll
that
be
was-
player 4.
That was the second game.
Right, I'll be player 4.
Second game I played where I had the wizard mode lit and didn't start it.
Tweak the flippers a little bit.
Right.
Up a
And-
little bit.
At least the left one.
Oh.
We gotta start from ground
See,
zero.
now Joe knows I'm getting in now, and now he needs to tweak the
Maybe
flipper
not-
power.
Now you're gonna be guaranteed
Right.
that.
Because we all know I hold out to the end of the night or
Well,
to the end of the
there's
stream.
a famous term, just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside. Russian fan 1974 has just thrown and tossed 1,000 bits. Thank you so much,
wow,
buddy.
thank you.
Some very, very nice.
Very generous watchers today.
ridiculous. Well,
it's
and
insane.
We owe it to you guys being here, in all honesty.
You guys put together a good show.
yeah, I appreciate
really
it.
enjoyed watching
Thank you.
last week. So
Joe.
it's
It's
cool to
totally
be on
enjoyed having it. Yeah,
I'm not going
It was
first.
great having you in chat.
No.
You know what? Let me go first, Eric. Let me get it out of the way. Do you mind? All right.
The Ricky Roo, nobody's really been that close yet today. You got to put a little bit of work to get more than one golden ticket.
But they're totally achievable. I mean,
They are.
golden tickets are earnable. There's a unique one for each of the 5 major milestones. 4 major milestones. The first one is done in the gumball machine, which is a random award that's gotten by hitting the different achievements in the game. The next, what I would call probably the next easiest one, is completing the factory. So doing all 12 of the main factory modes.
Just playing them, yeah.
Right, just playing them. The third one is hitting every jackpot available in Kid Multi-Ball.
Including the double and
Including
the super.
the double and the super, which is not impossible, but there's a reason I
It's
put it
challenging, but it's doable.
I put it third for a reason. Fourth one is completing Gobstopper Multi-Ball.
Just getting 5 Gobstopper jackpots.
Right. Super jackpots.
Super jackpots. Gobstopper jackpots.
Yep. And then the fifth one is completing the Wonka Vader Multi-Ball.
And that's a pretty difficult one. The supers are pretty difficult, but it's a, you know,
Again, it's been done.
Now
it's been done.
Right.
Yeah.
To clarify, none of them are tied to a specific wizard mode. So the first golden ticket you earn, whether it's from Kid Multi-Ball or the Gumball or completing Wonka Vader Multi-Ball, will allow you to play Oompa Loompa Odyssey.
Right.
Devil Dog, just want to say thank you very much, and need more pins. Thank you for the sub. So thanks, guys. You guys, everybody in chat is really what makes this
It's great.
stream go down.
For competitive mode, which I don't know how many people in there care about that kind of stuff, but in competitive play, the gumball machine will basically give you the golden ticket at the same location as everybody, so it's not just so random. That's more for casual play. This game is, with the code that it's in it right now, is fully ready to be used at a competition.
See, I love-
Everything competition is built in. All the competition stuff is ready to go. So, you know, if you have this game and you want to use it and you turn on competition mode, it will get rid of all the randomization and it's ready out the box to be played.
But you know what? I mean, honestly, the one game that I played so far, literally, I had some interesting things happen. But you know, it's pinball, right? I mean, it's not fair. But I mean, this is just such a great game. I mean, with the
Right.
programming, with the art, the art, everything. Love this game.
Yeah,
So
thank
All right.
you know,
Player 3.
so the fact that I'm kind of not too far off of you today makes me feel a little better.
Definitely.
So
Hey, pinball is humbling.
hey, most people wish they could get paid to do pinball for a living.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah, and that's that's a whole other discussion to have.
Oh, I'm sure. Attack from Mark. Thank you for the 100 bits.
We got more bits coming in, guys. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you so much. We got a follow from Frank Mack. Attack from Mark. He's been here before. 100 bits. Thank you, guys. Russian fan 1974.
Yeah,
1,000
kinda.
bits? You already nailed that out? Awesome. Very, very awesome.
I will get in a groove soon here, I promise.
And again, we're here with the Jersey Jack Pinball team. So we have right now stepping up to the machine, now flipping, number 32. It's Joe Katz. To the left, Keith Johnson. And then to his left, far left over there, Eric Meunier, the Jersey Jack Pinball.
And don't forget Chicken
Squad.
Steve between both of them.
You love that name.
Somebody asked where we're streaming from. Yeah.
We're streaming from Special Inlet Studio B. B for Beatty, Steve Beatty's place tonight. Studio B. It's Studio Beatty. Special Inlet Studio Beatty.
We'll have to ask, Lord Helmet, when he comes back, we'll have to ask that.
Oh,
Don't
now
ask.
there's the bonus
No
screen that I
Wonkas.
took. Player one.
Also, Rush fan, thanks for the shout out on Pirates. Appreciate it, man.
It's not going well. It's not going well.
We need some fresh air.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Joe, you had a question. I don't know if you want to jump over here for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what has been the most... let me read this so I don't get this wrong. What has been the most challenging aspect to programming this game?
Huh. That's a good question. I'll have to think about that one.
All right, you're not timed, so don't worry.
Yeah. I think pinball programming is just in general is difficult. I don't think you realize it until you do it. You think it's just kind of magic, but it's a layered very intense thing to make it work and feel right and be fun and not just be a complete mess.
There it goes. Bye-bye.
Fenty, huh?
Derek, you're not dumb. You're one of our biggest fans. Keep it up. Buy 3 games of the next release.
Jesus.
Sorry, guys, just trying to catch up. This is on a little bit of an angle here for me.
Yeah, so Dr. John says our games are on the way over to Australia right now. Look great next to Wizard of Oz and Pirates. And
I think
you guys are knocking out of the park.
that's what, like a 4 or 6 week lead time?
It's a long boat ride to Australia.
Yeah.
The container gets picked up from the East Coast and then has to go like through the Panama Canal before it docks again on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And then gets stocked up to go over to Australia. So I mean, yeah, you're looking at 4 to 6 weeks on
Minimum.
the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
Wow.
So
let's
they will
see.
be getting the SEs and their LEs in the
Yes.
same container.
Correct.
Okay.
Last I heard, there are going to be 2 JJP games at Papa this
Rumor
year.
has it there might be a Wonka and a Pirates.
Bum, bum, bum.
And I think they actually own a DI and a Waz, so.
Yeah, the Gunnet, Kaneda did ask the synchronization question, and Joe addressed it. So you can replay the chat, or Joe, I don't know if you want to rehash it one more time. It's essentially right now it's just kind of the experience lends itself well where you're not really able to take in both at the same time anyhow, right? Or
It's just.
It's pretty much what you see is what you get at this point.
yeah,
I mean, if you don't like it, that's fine.
there it is. Any chance we see innovation with the playfield glass? For example, could we get video on the glass blocking the view of the flippers or the smoke? I'm assuming that's in a future title because I don't see that being a mod
Wait,
on
what was
any
the
current
question?
game. If there's anything you could do to manipulate the playfield glass
They might slow me down a little.
to kind of obstruct the view of the
Save the ball,
flippers,
they didn't
whether
use
it
the
be with
warning.
like a smoke or a tint, something interactive in a future release.
I'm sure there's lots of stuff you could do. I know Highway was experimenting with making the glass a TV screen, but the problem is you need about 1 million candle power in order to make it work.
Yeah.
So
What is 1 million candle power as it correlates to like incandescents and LEDs? I mean, I imagine
don't
it
know.
takes
It's
less.
probably like 30 pin stadiums or something like that.
Is that what it is? There you go, Scott. 30 pin stadiums equals 1 million candle power.
He's about to.
The garage is like
That's just a
Player
rough
4.
guess.
Come on, Joe.
It's the Pin Stadium. It's throwing me off.
It's like it's making your vision like too favorable.
I can see the ball too well.
That's exactly what it is.
Joe can see the ball too well with the Pin Stadium.
Joe's having sight problems of
Love it.
HD.
Joe has shot enough spinners to qualify Augustus Gloop.
So the Augustus
shoots
Gloop
the-
completion is shooting the right ramp combo to the left orbit.
The game changes when you know what qualifies each one of the kids,
Right.
because then you're able to kind of quickly stack them to get into the multi-ball for it to be most lucrative.
But qualifying versus completing is a different story.
Right,
So you
right.
qualify Augustus by hitting the spinner. You complete him
Yes.
by hitting right ramp to left orbit combo.
Okay.
Has to be the combo shot.
Okay. The Gunnet, thanks for the 300 bits, buddy. And Penn Stadium, thanks for the 100 bits. Thank you guys very, very much. The Gunnet, thanks for coming back last week, from last week. So I'm glad we were kind of able to get on the same page.
The
and I appreciate it, man. And Scott, thanks, buddy. Scott is
Yeah,
giving
Scott,
out 1 bit for every million candle power that it takes to power a.
The whole garage.
Oh. All right. Yeah, please do.
If every question is regarding Augustus, it is right ramp followed by left orbit
Correct.
through the bumpers.
Yep.
It used to be left orbit to center ramp, but it was a little bit difficult.
It was
so we toned it down.
It was challenging. I didn't realize that the first time they changed the code and I made the shot and just like lost my mind. Like, come on, I qualified and I beat it.
Thank Frank Mark for the subscribed at tier 2. Thank you much. Appreciate it.
Gasoline,
Super
the
lock. I need that super lock.
upper playfield does, or sorry, the Wonkavator does have more spotlights on it to keep that area brighter in the SE and the CE.
I mean, there's just a whole bunch of lights on it, too.
And yeah, and there's a whole bunch of insert lights.
Yep, sure am, Dave. Thank you.
It's about a 30-foot walk to his bed from here, so
Yeah, I might have to Uber home later. we'll see.
Gobstopper multi-ball. Shoot all the ramps.
Nice.
Shoot 2 or 3 ramps to light the super.
Or you know what you can do? Is just drain all the balls quick, because that way you don't have to worry so much about the ramps.
But hit the Wonka tower target to add a ball, so he'll get at least a couple of them back.
right on. Thanks, Chrono.
Yeah, thank you.
Now Gobstopper for the super, which you just did.
Right back in my
So
face.
the
You need 5
kids-
supers for that golden ticket.
The kids qualifiers, you can go into it.
They are shown on the little banner that comes out where the kid is at. So as you get a little further in the game and you have to do Augustus a second time,
Yeah.
it will say, you know, right ramp to left loop to center ramp. It's sort of just bouncing back and forth on that little banner on the left where you got to shoot. The 3 that aren't the road.
One of the things to kind of look at on the UI display is where the pipes are going from each of the kids. So you can kind of follow that pipe for Augustus, and you can see that it goes up top to the chocolate pipe. It says collect Augustus, and then it pages over to hit the spinner. And Violet is collecting the gum award, or the gum targets. Let's see what else.
Okay.
Joe, sorry, read your name. Charlie and Veruca are both in modes, so those pipes go down to where the modes are qualified. And finally, Mike TV has his qualification near the WonkaVision screen.
Close enough to it.
So, did you see the question about the life expectancy on major mechs, like the Gobstopper, Wizard of Oz Monkey?
Sure, PinQuest. We can answer that. So we do a lot of major mechanical testing on
I was working on
all
the
of our
extra
mechs
ball. I was like,
in the game.
That's the only thing I
Each
was
mech
like,
is run to at least 1 million cycles, if not more. We test them for as many cycles as we think it takes
Disqualified from
to
the match.
prove that it is a viable mechanism in the game.
Kickbacks relit by the gum targets.
You gonna coach me? Yeah. All right.
Get ready for some real bad advice.
Should we coach them? just tell them what the
Hey, Joe, how do you relight the kickback?
The gum targets.
Okay.
The gum target. Okay.
Just one hit and that's it?
You just gotta spell gum.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was only 1 target away from relighting the kickback, but I was really concentrating on getting the extra ball. So my goal was to get the extra ball, then relight gum, then go from there.
And that's why you'll be going to work tomorrow. I'm just kidding. Hey, Learmods, Rob and Kim, how we doing?
Yeah, Lermont's chiming in. What's up, guys?
Hey, you guys get paid to do this stuff, which is just awesome.
It is something.
I'm sure the hours are, crazy, but I mean, you guys bring awesome stuff to life.
Thanks, I appreciate it. It's, it's a lot of hard work, and
Not what I wanted to do, but I'll take it.
I may need to drink a little bit more before I go any further.
Hey, now. Well, yeah, came to the right place.
Yeah, that's why it's good that we didn't do this on a Friday, because I mean, the last time we did this on a Friday here, it was it was a lot of fun. It was too fun.
late.
Maybe a little too far.
Oh, come on!
The last time we did this on a Friday was the JJP tailgate party for Wonka, I believe. Here, right?
Here, yeah. I don't know if they can answer that, but you're free to ask. Rob McKim had a question.
Joe Katz, lead software programmer on the game, is once again in dead last. Going into game 3 here.
Hey, but he's first in our hearts, right?
Right, but first in our
exactly.
hearts, of course.
And I'm dead.
Topper plugs will be enabled.
Woo!
I guess I didn't realize they were.
Just so you
We
know,
haven't made an LE topper, so we
Joe,
haven't done
you've
much
made
with
my
them.
pinball experience better.
Suppose we could just turn them on.
I
I don't
think
know.
you are Gobstopper champion. He's the only one who started it.
I started it, but did very poorly.
Ouch.
Yeah. I made like 3 jackpots, and that was it.
Well, apparently they've done less than 57K.
I'm the only one that dominated it
Right.
with 2 Insta-Dream.
Your Gobstopper multi-ball was more than my score, so good job.
Blurry face. Oh, is it blurry face like a 21 finals guy?
Almost more than my score.
And then what is the computer award?
So while you're collecting Wonka bars, you're inching towards a computer award, which comes out of the UI near the Wonka bar count. And I think there's 15 awards in there. Some appear later on. Some you have to do something to get.
All right, well, I want to jump in.
You can also pick the award you want, in theory. If you're able to hit the target next to the center ramp, it will actually change the ticket and show a different award. That's sort of how you'd want to potentially hold off on something like hold bonus X until maybe the last ball, or if you can get back around to it again, get it towards your last ball so you can have a double bonus at the end of the game. There's also 4 modes in Computer Award, and those 4 modes share a timer, kind of like the Simpsons Pinball Party does. So you could sort of, get Wonka Bar craze going, and when you're down to 15 seconds left or so, you could go and get another one like Unlimited Kickback, and it will reset the timer back to 30, and now you'll have both of those running at the same time. Those are extremely valuable if played correctly. The number of Wonka bars you have affects the score of Wonka Bar Craze, and the number of candy in the candy jar affects the Candy Man. So getting those modes at a certain point can be super lucrative.
I want to recognize Joe Fox again with the 401 bits donated. Joe's been big
Joe's a
supporter of the
beast.
stream.
Oh,
He is
yeah.
a beast.
Joe, thank you very much, brother.
Joe's the man, so we really do appreciate it. NS Pinball wanted to thank you for jumping into his stream with the tips, I guess last week or last time he went on. So he said it went over well, and he appreciated that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, you got better as the day progressed.
I saw a lot of determination in you
Exactly.
as you were playing, and
There was
I appreciate that.
Fire in your eyes, Derek. I could see the want for a good game.
You were slowly getting better as you were playing, and I think you were starting to pick up on some things, and it was really cool to see.
Jobber says, you won't recognize me. I'm not sure who he is speaking to, because Jobber's one of our favorite guys
Yeah, I
that
think
ever
we
come
always
into the stream.
acknowledge
So, Jobber,
didn't he call in
you were
last
also
week?
the man. Yeah, Jobber
Yeah.
calls in.
Yeah.
I hung out with
Even
Jobber
I
for
remember
like
that.
an hour in Milwaukee.
Did
so
you?
I recognize you.
You recognize little Jobber. You also recognize a good IPA. Eric.
I do.
You
I
do.
do.
What are you drinking these days?
I just finished off my pseudo suit.
Pacific
Can we
Rim.
entice you with one more beverage?
Just for you,
I
we
can
have
do Ninja
added that
version
screen.
for the after hours.
It won't happen every time, but it is there now.
There's been a repetitive chatter for. All right, well, it skipped the screen. So, November Rain. Little foreshadowing by Sidekick Pinballer over here, based on rumors. We've got.
Doesn't it normally snow in November? I don't get it.
That's why the November rain is so rare.
Ah, that makes
Right.
sense.
Unless you're in Florida, it's November raining.
It won't happen
at
every
3
time
o'clock
because it
every
is
day.
screaming,
Right.
and sometimes screaming is sort of irritating. So I think it's like a random chance of it adding it into the Wonkatania Mania.
So talk a
So
little
if you-
bit about Wonkatania Mania, because for me, it's one of the most.
Here we go.
Here it is. Let's listen.
Yeah, Wonkatania Mania was an interesting kind of process. Like we put it in there, and then we're like, yeah, it's really creepy, and everyone knows that poem, and the more you play it, you start to learn the
Yes.
poem. And
Yes.
then at one point, I was like, well, why don't we just put karaoke of the poem onto the WonkaVision screen while it's happening? Because people are already going to start memorizing it anyways because
Yeah.
they're just hearing it the whole time. So we threw it on the screen, and it's kind of a cool little touch to kind of have him be saying the lines.
I
on
love
the screen.
I love that part of the movie because
Right.
it is so creepy.
Right.
And I love where the pin is going with that in there because you start to feel the creepiness. And I'm just selfishly, I would love to see some crazy focus on that particular mode. I mean, I love it how it is.
Right.
But to just exemplify the potential creepiness of that mode, and maybe you don't do that because it's more family friendly. Like I don't need to see chickens' heads being cut off or anything like that. Snakes coming out of skulls. Right.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
the thing
little
about
over the
that.
top.
That's the thing
Yeah.
about that scene is we didn't really want to be showing worms crawling in people's skulls
Right,
and
right,
chickens' heads being cut off. We figured the poem was enough. And I know this standard doesn't have a shaker, but you sort of add the shaker to it
shaker.
as well, and it's sort of like it gets a little harder, and it's starting to shake kind of crazy
Right.
towards the end of it.
I'm almost thinking like, and again, this is an amateur guy here, like almost toning down some of the other audio that's happening to focus on the poetic justice of that mode. I mean, it's an awesome mode. I love it as is, but
This is Ken's wish episode.
this is my wish list right here. So I love the pin, and I'm excited where it's at, and if we know Jersey Jack and the evolution of pinball, so
Honestly, I
Can
feel
only
like
get better.
we had it more exclusive in the past, and we just didn't like the way the game played as much. when
okay, so you
everything else
kind
went
of
off.
experience with that. I'm not talking about everything off, but I'm just like the focus on those words being pronounced. And you can hear them. It's just there's so much going on, especially if you start stacking things. I mean, in a pinball machine, that has to happen because you have to know what's happening. I totally understand it. What's your favorite mode of the game, Keith? When you get in there, what's your favorite part to play?
Probably one we haven't seen yet, and hopefully we see tonight, is Wonka's office.
Okay.
That's the second golden ticket.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a crazy risk-reward mode. You can choose to pass on the jackpot and advance it to the next stage, or you could cash in the jackpot. So it's really up to the player. Do you have the confidence to make it one more stage before you cash in? Can you go one more stage before you cash in?
Press your luck. Then you get a whammy.
It's crazy. Like, we played it at the office for a while before.
Yeah. So when you guys are playing at the office, how often are you guys getting 3, 4, 5 golden tickets? I mean, it seems like it's very difficult to get to 2. So I mean, to
Right.
have 3 and 4 and 5.
Well, they come a lot faster as you're playing, right? So like
Okay.
your progress carries over from the different multi-balls. So your progress carries over through Kid multi-ball, through Wonka multi-ball,
Right,
as long as
right.
you hit a stage threshold. And same with Wonka Vader multi-ball. Your progress carries over as long as you hit the threshold of like completing the first set of jackpots. And then you have to cash in the super jackpot. It'll hold the fact that you've completed the first set of jackpots. So play it again and again, you're that much closer to getting a golden ticket. And you're that much closer across the board, right? Because you're earning progress toward all of your golden tickets as you're playing. So
and,
once you-
and a collection of all 5 golden tickets gets you to
Pure
Pure
Imagination.
Imagination, which is the ultimate wizard mode of the
Yep.
game.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's where the song is, right?
I mean, how often have you guys seen that mode playing it casually in the office over, let's say, on the version 1.0 or above of code?
It's
I have-
rare.
right, it's very rare.
It's
And you
meant to
guys
be
are seasoned
challenging.
pinball players.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but is it something that realistically the casual pinball player will ever see? Or is it something that you think that will always kind of be a carrot that's dangled that you might see something that you've never seen?
It'll be pretty difficult for a casual player, but I think if you play it enough, it's definitely doable. It's. I sort of every time I start thinking about wizard modes and how we do those and how we spread them out, I feel like the price that someone's paying for these games nowadays, that it's kind of nice to have something that sort of is out there. That
I could not agree more.
Yeah, I mean, if I make them really easy.
Dano Davis, thank you for the follow. Thank you.
If I make it really easy and you get there in a month,
What
why do
entices
you-
you to go back down and plunge?
right?
Again.
It's just
Without taking time off.
it's sort of just that carrot that's sort of lingering.
Couldn't have said it better. I mean, for me as a homeowner of pinball machines, and I've said this before on our special Winley Pinball podcast, I love knowing that I own a pin downstairs, and at any given time, on a good night, I might see something that I've never seen after owning the pinball machine for several months or years.
Right.
I love that.
That's definitely the purpose of how that was put together. And
Come on.
and yes, it's
F and
difficult.
Slayer,
And
thank you
yes,
for the
this game
follow.
can be brutal, but
Yeah.
you play it enough.
Yeah.
Someday you're just gonna fall into a bunch of them because you're just gonna start really tearing it up, and you're gonna be finishing Kid, and next thing you know, you're gonna be finishing Gobstopper, and you're gonna be like, well, I got 3 golden tickets all of a sudden.
Right. And you're on ball 1. And then you're
on ball
panicked
one,
because you know
right.
ball 2 and ball 3 are going to be insta drains.
Right. House balls, right?
And, right. House balls, and you're going to be all upset with yourself. So,
Yeah, it's a balance, but I like the idea of giving something to somebody that takes some work.
are there any Easter eggs in this game that you feel comfortable disclosing? Anything that's hidden? Not so much with learning the game, but maybe anything that we don't know about the game that's kind of a interesting tidbit or side note that hasn't really been publicized.
Not really.
Okay, well, there you go. And that concludes the stream tonight for
Everybody have a
Flip N Out
good
Pinball. I think we're gonna-
Ryan C, real quick. I don't know if you're talking about like 0.44 code of Wonka, but yeah, it's way higher now than it used to be.
International
Scrubdoodly
Rescue.
up just pay off.
Chris the Pernton, thanks for the 100 bits.
Thanks, Chris.
And Ryan C, thanks for coming in to chat. I think Scrumdiddleumptious and International Rescue are 2 totally different experiences on pinball machines.
Absolutely.
Where
Well,
the
in one
letter
game you
card
can
might
make the
be-
shots.
That's
Right.
Hey-oh! Nicely done. Hey, now Joe Katz is heating up a little bit. He's in a Gobstopper multi-ball. Now, I am the Gobstopper multi-ball champ tonight, Joe. So let's be careful
And
where we
it's
tread
over.
here.
That is the overall champion.
Again, thanks everybody for joining in chat. Bill Webb from Special Inlet Pinball Podcast, Steve Beatty, our partner in crime on our pinball adventures, Eric Meunier, the mastermind designer behind Pirates of the Caribbean, legendary software engineer Keith Johnson to his left, and then the man behind programming and coding, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for JJP, who took lead on this game. Joe Katz is up at the game tonight. Now, Joe's had a little rough go at it the first few games tonight, but it looks like he's settling in nicely here on ball number 2. Now, we're not going to do coverage
you, Joe
here of the
Fox.
tournament. Joe Fox again?
98 bits.
98 bits. It's like Joe's finding bits on the floor and he's just throwing them at us. I love it. Thank you. Chris the Pinturn, 100
Fox
bits.
is making it hail.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, dude,
Joe Fox is making it rain.
He's got to be called like Joe Rain, dude. He'd be just
Yeah, we got to send something out for Joe Fox. Unbelievable. So we've been up for about an hour 20 minutes here. Around 8:30, 8:40, we're going to go to the after hours where you can call in and you can talk to any one of these gentlemen from Jersey Jack Pinball. Ask them anything within reason.
Almost anything.
Right. It's good having them all here tonight on this
We
Wonka
have
stream.
intellectual property
So.
we have to protect. So
Lumberjack says, you got to get Cheer Up Charlie for when you drain and your game ends.
That's probably the worst song ever made.
It is the worst song ever made.
So I don't really want that in this game.
That's one of the things about this movie. It's half of the movie you don't really want in the game.
more than half.
Anyone only cares about the factory part.
That should be the punishment for no bonus. It should go into the extended club remix of Cheer Up Charlie, where you just
It's like
have
the
to...
opposite of Full Metal Jacket.
There you go.
Oh, jeez.
Well, the no bonus thing, like, it just worked out so well because there's a bunch of spots in the movie where it talks about not getting any Wonkas, and there are no Wonkas available, and it's just like, why don't we just show that when you get no bonus?
Yeah, no, I get it. Dr. John Pinsrule, thank you so much for the 200 bits. Dr. John is our Australian correspondent for Spooky Pinball on Special Inlet Pinball Podcast. So it's always good seeing him here in chat.
Pins rule, you can ask any question you want.
Yeah, go for it.
We will choose.
No guarantee you'll get an answer,
Right.
but feel free to ask.
Right.
See, now he's smart. He throws the little bits out there, and then he makes you feel obligated to answer the question because if you don't, you took his bits. You have to.
I feel
refund
no
the
such
bits.
obligation.
Keith feels no such
I mean,
obligation.
I'm being paid in beer to be here.
Look at the
so-
bit jar. It's like all full. It's overflowing.
Oh, Ken told me it was like $100 a piece.
Oh, nice.
What's that?
Oh, you pocketing the money? What said? Eric said we're paying him in beer. Why did you want $300 from me then?
To buy Eric's 2 beers.
Oh, okay.
Nothing
okay.
but the best for Eric Meunier.
No, just kidding. Thank
I
you
could
guys
probably
for
answer
being
that
out
question
here,
for
though.
Keith, and I'll say the answer is yes. Pin rules.
What? I'm not even aware of the change, so.
No, it's actually a bug.
Ah. Well, sorry, pins rule. Oh, Wonka Vader. He snatched it.
That's why I wasn't too worried about that ball. I knew it was coming
Hey,
back.
Keith, remember I reminded that of you before your last drain, I think. That was ready to go.
Yeah, I've also, I think I was watching last week, and people were talking about Wonka Vader being kind of far and kind of hard to get. And again, that was also kind of meant to be out there a bit more, to feel a little bit more satisfying when you do get it. And that's why you can share locks, because it's not really simple to do.
God.
But
You know
again,
what?
once you know how to
Yeah.
do it, it's really not that
Right.
hard. I've gotten it like 3 times in a game. So
And I
it's
was going to
doable.
say, I had like
Right.
3 games that I played, and I was able to get that going on my own twice.
Right.
So
exactly.
it's not
it's
not
not
undoable.
that hard. You
Yeah,
just have
right.
to know how to do it,
Right.
and it takes a little bit of understanding of how to do it.
I think
wanna
the
go
appeal
over
of
the
that,
rules?
if somebody that doesn't know how to do that and they leave that ball on the table, somebody else that steps in that may not even know that it's there gets a surprise multi-ball.
Right.
Which is a lucrative multi-ball, right?
It's very lucrative.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
got a really fun super too. So basically, to light the super locks, every 3 factory tour panels will light a super lock.
Okay.
So play any 3 and it'll light one.
All right.
The second captive,
Hey, golden ticket.
the second captive ball mystery award is always super lock. So,
Okay.
if you get Wonkatania Mania first, the
love
second
it.
one will be light super lock.
One of my favorite modes.
And the third way to get it, which is a pretty big way to get it, is it's in the computer as well. But when it's one of the tickets in the computer and you get that one, it actually lights 3 of them.
Okay.
So if you get the one ticket that says light super lock, it actually will be lighting 3 super locks for you on that shot.
Wow.
So you could just get that ticket
On
and be able
one
to get
shot.
to the multi-ball.
Yeah. See, now another super lock set up here.
No.
Eric
no.
Meunier. So
No. Oh, thank goodness.
Whatever.
did you go in and extend that ball save time? Because that seemed a little long.
So, this is, our 4th game playing? And I have the wizard mode lit again.
They're asking about the...
Can I cash it in? We shall see.
Sounds like the kiss of death to me, Eric. I'm just-
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Oh, I totally forgot we fixed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fixed that a long time ago. Sorry about that.
Rattled the
I'll try to see what we can do about releasing it.
What happened?
It was just a bug on
it was a stupid. Someone threw something in
Yep.
that we didn't test all the way.
This is
And
a great
I didn't even
mode.
know it had changed, so I didn't realize the bug was in there. We fixed it pretty much immediately, but then we thought we were going to release it, and then we never did. And I don't know. Time gets away from you. You forget stuff.
Yeah.
But it will be fixed.
By this fix, we just need to release it.
Right.
I want to take a minute and just listen to this mode for a second, guys. This is fun.
Come on.
No!
And that concludes the Jackpot Wizard mode by Eric Meunier.
That could be pretty valuable, that mode, too.
Yeah.
If you
I've
get
been
to
there
the
twice.
Get to the super, it can get really valuable.
My high score on this is, I think, 2.5 million, and I was in that mode, and it was lucrative. I want to say it was like 600,000 or 700,000 points in that mode. So, nice job. Nice job. Hey. Saw Wizard mode on the Flip N Out Pinball streaming network. You don't see those every week, that's for sure.
It's funny because we've been watching some of the streams that have gone on, and either watch them live or in broadcast or whatever. And it's so funny the number of times you've seen Oompa Loompa lit and no one catches
And nobody
it.
catches it. And it's got its own insert.
Like,
Right? I mean, it's right up there on the left
yeah,
lane
yeah.
below the LCD. I want to take a quick moment. Slap Say Pinball Podcast, thank you so much for the 300 bits. And Frank Mac 101, thank you for the 200 bits. And thank you for the follow Pinwiz, Jay. I also want to just to kind of discuss real briefly, like our approach to streaming. It's a pleasure having you guys in because what we kind of rely on is kind of showing the general game and opening up pinball discussion on a game versus really getting deep into the games. And we're not the best players. We're not the worst players. But it's nice to have you guys come in, explain the rule set, explain scoring strategies, and then demonstrate that for the most part. here in the game tonight. So
For the most part.
for the
least
most part.
attempt
I just had to throw that in there a little bit, Joe. But I'm having a blast tonight, guys, and I couldn't be happy that you guys are here. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for letting us come.
man.
It's been a lot of
Please.
fun.
Appreciate it.
So when we do this tomorrow night, what time are we starting the stream? Is it going to
Yeah.
be at 6 o'clock?
I don't know if I can get here by 6 o'clock.
It's okay.
Need more pins. The game does tell you the average game time, and thousands of more audits. Whatever you want to know, how many times each switch was hit, how
Disclaimer,
often
not
it drains
necessarily
down the
thousands.
left out lane, the right out lane, etc. All that stuff is there in the game if you go into audits and look at the different switch hits and all that stuff. So
So
dig in.
So the fans in the upper right hand corner, just to give you an understanding of the UI. Well, now it's gonna flip, but so in the upper right hand corner, that's sort of Mike's area. So as you're making progress towards Mike, the fans are spinning, and then when the Mike mode is running, all the fans are spinning, and there's sort of like a little bit of an electricity kind of flowing. It's kind of like powering up the Wonka vision. And then obviously the middle section is Augustus, in the tube. And then obviously the other side is Violet. You're sort of, as you're hitting the gum targets, you're making the 3-course meal, which is dropping the 3-course meal that they mentioned in the movie. That the gum is made out of onto the belt. And then when she's running, they're kind of sliding off and kind of being made into, kind of use your imagination. So yeah, that's what the fans are at NS Pinball. They represent Mike and the progress towards Mike.
When you look at the general user interface, the screen, there's so many things that you might just at first glance never pick up on.
Right.
And it's so intuitive in the way it tells you where you are in the game and what needs to be accomplished and how far you are in your progress.
JP DeWin is the best animator, best UI interface person in the world. I mean, when it comes to pinball, that's just
Yeah, that
That's
can't
a
be
fact.
said enough.
He's-
JP is
he's
a master.
very good at what he does. There's no unused space up there in the UI, and every little
Right.
nuance is there for a reason because JP and the team discussed it time and time again and over on how to do different things. Like, for example, a small thing that you might not even recognize is the lit sign next to the elevator shows you how many super locks have been qualified.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And how about the above the elevator is the floors, and that actually represents the Captive Ball Award. So when you're making a ramp,
Right.
the lights are moving up floors just like the inserts are doing on the bottom of the play field. So when the question mark is lit on the UI,
Okay.
the question mark is lit for like Wonkatania Mania.
You just
or
blew
any
my
of the other
mind, Joe.
things.
Yeah,
Right.
that's crazy. I mean, but
It's
even
stuff like
something
that.
even if something is what I now see is blatantly obvious is like Augustus coming through the
Right.
pipe across the top
Right.
middle of the
Right.
LCD. I mean, it's kind of geniusly done.
Right.
You don't notice it, but then you do notice it when you get a couple games in.
Right. There's nothing on that UI right there that isn't doing something or meant to be
right.
something.
Right.
Like even that, the extreme danger sign under Mike was blinking there because he had no more tilts left.
Right. Right. Good game, Keith.
Thanks.
To answer Chris's question,
Choked out on multi-ball.
I'm hoping he'll explain because he's the most handsome man I know.
And I'm getting caught up here. With Joe Fox again with 300 bits. He's an animal. He's a bit animal. Southwest Pennsylvania Pinhead with 500 bits. Always good seeing you guys coming in to chat and helping out the stream. Thank you guys so very much. And thank you, Jersey Jack Pinball. Eric Meunier, who's up at the machine right now. Joe Katz to his left. And we've got Keith Johnson to my left. Thank you guys for coming out and playing the game.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
What I'd like to do here is, if you guys want to take a brief moment, we can shift into the after hours and we can take a couple call-ins if you guys have the time.
Yeah, that's fine. I wish we
unfortunately-
could play some more because, man, it's not gone well. But
why don't
that's
we?
fine.
You want to play one more game? And we can keep the game going during after
We
hours.
really can. I mean, we only have.
So why don't we just do that? Why don't we keep playing while we have after hours?
Turn the flippers up even more.
I'll
Okay.
turn down the game audio slightly,
99.
and let's just keep Wonka streaming while we're doing after hours. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. You want to kill that mic?
Yeah, I'll turn the mic down. The only thing is,
Thank you, NS Pinball. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. You guys want to see more Wonka, right? You don't want to see a bunch of dudes just talking at a table. We can play pinball and talk at a table.
Was that 18?
22.
We got this. And Pinquest, thanks so much for the tiers tonight. We've got a little extra time to try to get those tiers. And Pin Stadium, thanks for helping us illuminate this pin for stream. It doesn't get better on the illumination. And we learned tonight that 30 pin stadiums equal 1 million candle power, and that was per Keith Johnson. So that's an equation that can be used. I think we need to print a
rough
T-shirt.
estimate.
Need to go ahead and get a T-shirt lit for that. Before we do that, let's go ahead and pay a couple bills.
How do you
And we are back. So as we get ourselves settled, we'll get ready. We're gonna now listen. I'm gonna ask you guys to do this. Don't call now, but I'm gonna put the number on the screen because I want you guys to have it. And then when we go live, because right now we're not set up to take calls, we will go ahead and we will answer them. And you can see the number below. It's area code 630-283-2888. And that's going to be the call-in line. Again, don't call in now. We're not ready to take those calls. But go ahead, jot that down if you want to talk to these guys in chat. Because we're going to continue to play Wonka. We're going to continue to try to accomplish our pin quests. And but we want to open up some dialogue with these guys on more of a personal level. And they've been so generous with their time. And we want to be thanking everybody else that's generous with their time and visiting here tonight.
So we should probably change it up to single-player games so we don't.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Interrupt phone calls.
I think that's a great idea. So let's do single-player games, and then we'll do it that way. So we're going to pull that number off the screen. Again, 630-283-2888.
Designated player.
We are not set up for that. Hold on.
Not designated driver.
So we killed some of the audio there on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And we're going to set up the live call-in line here. Give me a quick second.
Is it really after hours if everyone knows about it?
It's a great question. I don't know. It's a segment that we have to do every single week, so we'll see how that goes.
Chocolates in front of everybody. Everybody needs chocolates. Can you move that beer, and then we can try not to chomp it.
We get an extra ball already.
flailing?
Much flailing.
Need More Pin says, I hear there are drink specials in the after hours, and you're absolutely right, because all the drinks in Studio B for Studio BD are on special tonight. It's always a happy hour when you're here. Jobber says that we can tell we're middle-aged when after hours starts at 8:30. That's kind of what Keith was
That
going
is
for.
very true.
Right, that's true. It is what it is, guys. My apologies. So let's test the call-in line, and I'd like to start this off with Zach. So Zach, if you are around and you are ready, let's see if we can't get this rocking and rolling tonight. And again, you're watching the Flip N Out Pinball Streaming Network. With us to my left right now, we've got Keith Johnson from Jersey Jack Pinball, Joe Katz from Jersey Jack Pinball, and on right now, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Eric Meunier from Jersey Jack Pinball. The call-in number is off the screen right now. That's why I was kind of asking if everybody could kind of jot that down, but let's go ahead and see if we can bring that up again. Give me 1 second here.
No 50-50 drinks, man. Not tonight. We have to be up at 4:30 in the morning, so.
Speak for yourself.
hey, you guys saw my pinball skills. There's a reason why I'll be up at 4:30.
Pacific Trim wants to know what Pat Lawler smells like. Does he wear a cologne? Is he a soapy person? It's one of the strangest questions that's ever been asked.
I
found
didn't
it
want to.
pretty-
I wasn't sure how to approach that when I read it, but I was like, maybe the mystery on that one might be a little more alluring.
Is normal an answer?
Right.
Yes, normal is an answer.
Eric's finally having a good game over
yeah,
here.
yeah, he is.
Actually had Gobstopper plus a Chew Kid multi-ball going on. And Wonkatania now.
Something to be aware about with Oompa Loompa Odyssey is that right now, if anything else is running, any mode, anything, it will not be lit. So until you're out of everything you're in, that's when it lights.
Okay.
Typically our wizard modes or whatever you want to call them, golden ticket modes, or in other games will pretty much kill all running things. But I felt like in this particular mode, since it's sort of easy to get to and kind of random and kind of casual, I didn't really want to stomp on everything else that you're running. So you kind of let it kind of happen first, and then when you're out of Super X or out of a mode, then it will light, and then you can shoot for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like all the other, we got a call, I guess.
We do have a call coming in here. This is going to be a test call because for whatever reason we're not picking it up. So hold on one second here. Caller, do me a favor. Stay on this line for a quick second, if you don't mind.
Eric can always use a new tilt warning.
Well, and if I'm taking a guess, I'm betting that this is a Australian number, and if I'm doubling down on this, I'd say it's Dr. John. I don't know about.
Well, we are having a small audio issue, but I'm confident that we're going to be able to rectify this in a second. I think I just lost Dr. John there. So.
Another Wonkavator for Eric.
Synchronized video clips with audio on Wonka?
I didn't know that was possible.
Hey, give us one more second here on the call-in line. We're having a quick little issue here. I'm going to get it fixed.
User error.
Absolutely is user error.
All right.
And I think we're in
it.
business, so let's see if we can get that going again. My apologies for the delay there.
No, Hilton Rewards called earlier, so Ken got the free one-night stay.
Here we go. First call on the call-in line. Hey, thanks for calling the Flip N Out Streaming Network. You are on the air.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up, Zach? How are you, man?
Good.
Zach, the lead guy over there, the distributor at Flip N Out Pinball, sponsoring the channel. Are you having a fun night tonight, Zach? Checking out what's going on here, or what?
Yeah, it's always a blast watching you guys play horrible pinball and watching the creators there of Wonka.
Also play
Special
horrible pinball.
shout out to Joe Katz, killing it on the code. I'm discovering each night as I obsess and play 20, 30 games. I'm obsessing about every little bitty detail and path that I can take to get them damn golden tickets. So a special shout out to Katz there, man.
Thanks.
It's been fun. Joe turned up his game here in the last couple games, so he's trending up, so to speak.
I guess.
Those guys are always playing good pinball. I was referring to Ken and Bill, and is Beatty even there at this point?
Yeah, he's next to the game.
He's watching Eric down the clinic.
He's there in spirit too, so it's like he's good. Well, I mean, he's been generous because he's hosting tonight's activities, and he's been very passive off mic tonight. I think he's just being a good host, like he always is.
Did everybody have the lukewarm chicken that he set out?
Yeah, no, we did not get lukewarm buckets of chicken for the staff. I know they do need to get back to work at some point tomorrow, so that was kind of
very nice. I was gonna remind everybody that this weekend you can play Wonka at the Atlanta show, Southern Fried Gaming Expo, July 12th through 14th. We're gonna have a Wonka production standard there, as well as a prototype, I believe, LE. So definitely come hang out, say hello to me, and if you're ready to buy your next pinball machine, as always, buy through what? Trina Tilt? No. Coin Taker? Please, no. No. Zach, Flip N Out Pinball.
Well, I mean, this is
What
your
a
channel,
plug.
Zach.
What
So
a plug.
Absolutely. Zach and Flip N Out Pinball, Zach and Nicole Menny running the channel and new pinball distributors. Give them a chance if you haven't already established yourself with a distributor. It's good times back. I appreciate everything you're doing for us, man. I appreciate you getting us to the opportunity to stream these new games. And it's allowed us to have some pretty interesting interaction with staff at different manufacturers and deep discussions on these games. So it's fun. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Also, before I go, I got to give a shout out to Kiefer. Shout out to Meunier there. I see you guys, you sexy son of a bitches. I'm ready to see the flannel come off in the after hours, see those big guns flexing. Looking forward to seeing what you guys have up your sleeve on the next game. I'll talk to you guys later.
We have our bits for nips coming up later, Zach. So. Keith loves you, he said.
Isn't that like the after? Like, you got to pay to get in that channel?
Yeah, that's a whole different channel.
Much love, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks
Zach.
for coming and streaming with us.
Yeah, good times, man.
Thanks, Zach.
See you, man.
Zach, thanks.
Woo! So Zach Menny from Flip N Out Pinball, again, extending his thanks as we are extending our thanks. Now, Eric, you had a pretty nice game there, 1.3 million. Pretty nice. Eric's
Very
looking for a
nice.
mic.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Decent.
Got another call coming in. Hey, thanks for calling us on the Flip N Out streaming network. You're on the air.
Yeah, hey, it's Frank Mack here.
Hey, Frank Mack, what's going on, man? How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How's it going?
Pretty good. If you get an opportunity, if you could turn down your computer, that would help. We got a little reverb going.
All right, you got it.
Yeah, cool, man. What can we help you out with? You got some questions for the JJP All-Stars here?
No, I just want to say they did a nice job on it, and kids are enjoying it. And we picked one up about a week ago, and everything's going good.
Awesome.
Nice.
Good to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to get. Do we have another pair of headphones for Eric here? Or no, probably not. He was saying that he picked it up for the kids, and he's loving the pinball machine. So absolutely, yeah, it's good. So when did you pick up your pin? When did you get your Wonka?
So we picked it up July the 3rd, and we've been playing it ever since. So.
You have a favorite mode of the
Through the
game?
modes.
Favorite part of the game that you like to get
Yeah,
to?
the kids like the Oompa Loompa multi-ball. It looks good, sounds good with the song, and the Wonkatania with the lights flickering down. They like all that, it looks good.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and it's always fun times, and thanks for giving your insights on your Wonka experience. It's good.
All right, man. Thanks for doing a great job, guys.
Hey, man, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
Whew, I gotta turn that action down a little bit. Yeah, but you know what? I'm hearing a lot of that feedback. A lot of people that have gotten the game in their home. It's a different experience that they see on a stream, and we're streaming here. We're not doing the game justice. You've got people that have played it at a show, which is a different experience. To play the game in a controlled environment offers you the premier
Best experience.
pinball experience, and a lot of people have appreciated that. So that hard work and effort is paying off.
Yeah, it's great.
It is great. We get caught up in the chat here. Lord of the Ring Breath is here. I always like to see Lord of the Ring Breath. He's complimenting Zach on his video. PinQuest is stating that, unfortunately, the Jersey Jack staff are not eligible for the PinQuest tiers, which
you
is
gotta be kidding
unfortunate.
me. That's why I wasn't stepping up today.
I thought we were bringing in the ringers to take down the PinQuest.
That's what I
It
thought.
looks like he's laying down the challenge, though.
But
keep reading.
Well, you know what we can actually do here, and if PinQuest is up to it. First of all, I want to recognize the fact they started the stream off with 2,500 bits right off the bat.
Yeah.
Just for getting it going. But PinQuest, if you have a PinQuest for the JJP staff, instead of paying that out in bits, maybe we can come up with something different, maybe for bragging rights, to see if either of these three gentlemen can hammer out your PinQuest, because I'd be interested to see how that goes.
Joe Fox again. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, is it Joe Fox? Oh, another 500. Is that 900 bits? Joe Fox, the Rockefeller of the Flip N Out Pinball streaming network. Thank you so very much. And that line is open now. If anybody wants to call in and get in on a little Wonka call-in line, I'm gonna put that number back up here in just a second. Normally we have the number streaming like prominently.
I'm going to go play a game real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. But because we are transitioning back and forth between Wonka games and not, we do not have it. So there's a number, and that is area code 630-283-2888. You can call us live right now, get on the air, and you're all set.
Sounds like a good time to say Baba Booey.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I'm the Howard Stern of pinball all of a sudden.
Baba
Hey,
Booey,
thanks for
Baba
calling.
Booey, Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Whoa,
That's
whoa, whoa.
a nice way for me to come on. This is Jobber. How's everybody doing?
Jobber, what's
Jobber.
up?
How
We were
are
just
we doing,
talking
man?
about
Hey,
you,
Chris.
man. You were pretty popular in
Yeah,
chat.
I know you are. Now I'm feeling pressure to call in. I feel as though I need to say something of substance, something quippy, something smartassy. So here's my number one question for the fine folks at Jersey Jack. Is there any truth to the rumor that I just made up that there's a Super LE of this game featuring the characters and artwork from the 2005 Warner Brothers classic Charlie and the Chocolate Factory featuring Johnny Depp? Is there any truth to that at all?
No comment.
If we are
Okay,
paid
well
$1
done.
million, we would make one and light it on fire just for you. Chris.
Light it on fire. That would be fantastic.
You would Todd
and I'd
Tucky
be
that
more than
right
happy-
off the.
Hey, we gotta have
Yeah,
some.
and I'd be more than happy to come down there and watch it burn, and we can roast marshmallows and Wonka bars. On it.
There you go.
Okay. Well, anyways, I can't think of anything else of any more substance, but guys, you hit it out of the park again, and it's a great-looking machine.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Chris.
you.
Nicely done, guys.
Alrighty,
Hey,
have a
Jobber.
good one.
Hey, buddy.
Alrighty,
Thanks for
later,
calling
bye.
in, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.
Good times. As we look really quick, so now PinQuest has issued the JJP challenge, and that is this: score 1 million points for any of the JJP guys, and PinQuest will throw 1,000 bits in. So for every 1 million point score, he will donate 1,000 bits. Now, another update is we've just updated that this stream will end at 6 a.m. So you.
I will be out at 5:30 because I will be.
You have 10
at
more
work,
hours
though.
to every million point game is $10. So if we calculate the hourly, if you can do 5 million point games over the next hour, it's an extra $50 an hour. We're supplementing income here at this point. Now I know it doesn't compare to the extremely high salaries that pinball employees actually get.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's arguably different ways that you make money in this sort of thing. But
We just need Eric to keep playing then. Basically is what we need.
All right, I hit 1 million right before he issued the challenge, so
well, how about this? Would you be willing to jump up there and try to get another million? And Keith's getting ready to get a little.
well, Steph.
Yeah. So I think that's issued right now. So
Yeah.
for every million points, or for every 1 million point score, it's going to be a PinQuest donation to the stream. So we'll monitor that and see how that actually goes.
Okay. One-time payout. So
PinQuest is telling me to calm down. I was like, he said I cannot extend the stream to 10 hours for the million point payout. So how about this? 1 million point payout of 1,000 bits for the next 1 million score from the JJP live
We
stream.
could do that.
Yeah, we could do that.
So that'll be fun.
Zach, I have seen the Rum POTC unboxing, and it was utterly fantastic. It was one of my favorite moments that I've watched.
Oh, I did see that actually. That was something.
What's great is Zach is reminding us all that Pin Stadium is actually matching the PinQuest donations. So that
could get real.
1,000 bits turns into 2,000 bits pretty quickly. So we'll see how that goes. 2,000 bits for the next 1 million point score, and we have 1 hour and 12 minutes to achieve that.
You can do that.
Eric
we can make that
accepted the challenge. He's ready to go. Very, very nice.
I'm only 3 beers in. Maybe I can.
Yeah, I mean it's
Step it
a pretty tame night tonight, huh?
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
At some point, I'm gonna have to jump back on this because I'm a little miffed at my pinball abilities. I had a better game the first time I played it at the factory.
Right.
As crazy as that sounds.
Right.
It's because Steve's got this garage so warm in here.
Is that what it is?
I'm just looking for any excuse. So
Oh, Zach, you will not be disappointed. I will guarantee that.
Yeah. Everyone knows what this or that is. That's a classic segment from the Straight Down the Middle YouTube channel.
Call us now, 630-283-2888. Jump in with Keith Johnson, Joe Katz, and Eric Meunier of Jersey Jack Pinball, and let's discuss a little Wonka tonight. Anything you've ever wondered but you were afraid to ask?
Oh, there's some. That's the
And we're
Dr.
ready to
John
go.
guy, I have a feeling.
Do you guys know your international area codes? Or?
No, but as someone mentioned earlier, that's who that probably is.
that was me.
Hello, and thank you for calling the Flip N Out Streaming Network. You are on the air.
See, you're stalking me. You know my phone number now.
Yeah, right. You're supposed to star 67, that sort of thing in the United States there, Dr. John. Not sure what's going on. But hey, welcome to the program, man. Always good to have you. What's going on?
Thanks, mate. Just wanted to say hello to the JJP crew. Thanks for their great products.
Thank you.
And the great stream tonight. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. John.
Thank you.
Couldn't do the stream without
Yep.
these guys. These are the all-stars tonight.
No, they're cool. One thing for Eric. I've got my Pirates at home, and Absolutely loving it. It's the favourite game at the moment until Wonka arrives. We'll see which one takes the cake then. Eric's thoughts on the pinside thread with the technical problems with Pirates. Does it make him frustrated, or does he learn a lot by it? Because there's lots of little tweaks you need on the game just to get it going perfectly.
Right.
I'm lucky I haven't had too many problems with mine. We only had the problem with the multi-ball getting stuck in the subway. We put it in a 100-person comp, and that was a bit frustrating, but that's been fixed easily with that post-edition.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get over those issues when making pinball? It's so hard.
I mean, the difficult thing with Pirates is there's so much stuff in the game. There's just that many more things to go wrong, right? I mean, the game has everything in the kitchen sink. So if there's one thing wrong, I mean, if I had put less in the game, it's, the game would have had fewer problems. But I put everything in possible. I followed that thread for a long time and tried to help out where I could. I haven't actually logged onto it in a while, but maybe I'll go in and see what people are posting about these days and see if there's any new issues that I haven't addressed. But it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see my baby out there.
And they're all
doing what
easy
it should.
fixes. Yeah, you made it technically very easy to work on, which is very appreciated.
Yeah.
Played fields on and off very simply.
Right.
Small things here and there, which was great, but not too many new things. I wonder nowadays, you can't put them out and play test anymore like Bally Williams used to do with all the secrecy of upcoming titles.
Right.
How do you play test these things?
So we play the crap out of them in our office, right? We've got several different calibers of players. Myself, Joe, and Keith are probably the best players in the office. There are what I would consider
Pat Lawler's not the best player in the office?
No, no, he's not.
We're going to pause for station
Pat
identification.
can obviously play well, but he's not to the same level we are.
Okay.
There are other players, I wouldn't consider them casuals because they understand what pinball is, but they're not tournament players like us. So they play it, and then we do invite a few select people in that can keep their mouths shut, sign a non-disclosure agreement that they won't talk about the game until we allow them to.
Those sound like cool people.
To play the game and see the game and give us feedback. That's how we play test.
Be a lot cooler if we were on that list. I mean, I'm just saying, if I got to vote for something tonight, that would be my vote. But
does that help you out there, Dr. John?
Excellent,
Like, give a little insight?
That's great, mate. It's just good to chat. Yeah, no, thank you for the games. And like I said, I think we've got about another 3 weeks and our Willy Wonkas arrive in Australia. So, looking forward to it.
The Australian contingent of Willy Wonkas are getting ready to make their arrival. So it's always exciting, man. It's always exciting when you call them in. I appreciate it. How's your daughter doing? Everything going good over there on the competitive front?
Yeah. She's, she won the Southern Hemisphere Championships a couple of weeks ago, and now she's off to Pinburg in 3 weeks.
Wow. Outstanding.
So
I've read about you guys.
Looking forward to that.
I haven't met you guys personally, but I've read about you. Very cool, man. Very cool to keep your family involved and excited, and your daughter's doing awesome. That's really cool. Dude.
Yep, we'll see you in Pittsburgh.
Right on.
Thanks, Dr. John.
Thanks, Dr. John. Have a good night, all right?
So he's a cool dude. I mean, so he came on board with Special Win Lit Pinball Podcast. So, he's been reporting on Spooky for us, which is funny because Spooky's like 150 miles away, and we've got somebody that's like thousands of miles away as our correspondent. But he's such a good guy.
And he's on the ball with it
He is
every
on the ball.
week.
And it's obvious that he's got like an inside over at that company. So it's fun. So
Pacific Trim asked a question.
Yeah,
What's your
let's go.
favorite pre-2000 era pinball machine? I have... Let's see. Right now, I actually only have one pre-2000 game in my collection, which is Bonsai Run. Prototype number 7.
prototype number 7.
Of Bonsai Run. Yep.
Right. Well, thanks for calling the Flip N Out Streaming Network. You're live with Eric, Keith, and Joe, Ken, Steve, and Bill. Welcome to the program.
Hey, guys. This is Chris the Pin Turn. And
Hey, what's up, Chris?
How we doing?
Now, Chris the Pin's turn was at TPF dressed in his Wonka gear,
he was.
and he accepted an award on somebody else's behalf. So, he's been the Wonka guy from day one. So, what's up, Chris? How are you, man?
On Mark's behalf for his
Yeah,
beautiful
exactly.
Night Before Christmas. Yeah.
Absolutely. What's going on, man? How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. Just been watching the stream, and I had a question, and I don't mean to be controversial or anything like that, but was there a decision that kind of split the team that was a tough decision for the group that came out to be positive, or can you guys kind of comment about the process of developing this as a team and how that works?
Not sure what you meant by split the team.
Are you asking, was there any drama involved in making the pin between the team members?
There's always people that have one opinion or the other, and some people are more right than others. Sometimes some people have opinions that are valid concerns, but the thing they're talking about isn't exactly the reason for the problem or the reason that they're having some bad experience with the game, and they can't quite put it into the words that is the actual problem. So, we may sit there and talk about it. It's like, I was complaining about this, but if we did this other thing, maybe it addresses the problem. And
right.
It's not quite the thing. So, a really big one was again, it was mostly Joe, Eric, and I playing, but people would get lots and lots of multi-balls all stacked together all at the same time. So, it was like, there's a lot going on in the game at this moment. Is there any way we can dial this down a little bit? And yeah, we did a couple things. I mean, we can still, we made Kid, at first we made Kid a lot harder, and then we made it easier again in the end. But now certain things will happen. Funhouse, for example, will not let you get quick multi-ball if multi-ball is lit.
Yeah.
Or lock is lit, I should say. This game will do the same for Slugworth. So if multi-ball is going on, it will do its absolute best not to give you Slugworth multi-ball.
But you can bring Slugworth into another multi-ball.
You can stack the multi-ball.
Yeah, it is possible. Right. Just like in Funhouse, it's possible to stack quick multi-ball and regular multi-ball.
Right.
Now, that almost never happens, but, it is possible to do.
There's
so,
something...
there's people have experiences with the game, and... it's up to us to figure out how to best address it. If we need to address it, and B, how to address it in a way that doesn't compromise the game, from our vision too much, or, hurt the game, hurt the game unnecessarily, I guess I would say.
That's a pretty thorough answer.
Very.
I do try when possible.
You nailed it. Chris, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, guys, and have a great night. Thanks.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support, brother. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
See y'all. Bye.
Good times. So now we have something in the making here right now. We've got Joe Katz, who is at 997,860 points, getting ready to take down. Are you telling him, Steve, how to do it? So, you are his good luck charm.
Guiding him along.
So Joe has broken the 1,000,000-point mark. So he has hit the Pin Quest challenge of the night for the JJP team for 1,000 bits. So we do appreciate that. That's pretty awesome. And he could not have done this well without the illumination of a stream of a Pin Stadium kit streaming this game.
Absolutely.
So, right. He's adapted to it after like 6 games.
And the illumination of Steve Beatty guiding him
the
through how to play the
Steve
game.
Beatty.
Well, he's like a lucky rabbit's tail, man.
Right.
You bring him anywhere.
He is. Oh, good times. So we have 1 million, and special thanks again to Pin Quest and Pin Stadium for helping the stream rock and roll on.
C&K, we can talk about those LED clusters. There's a couple different things they do. They showcase a couple different rules in the game. So in certain modes and certain multi-balls, when they flash white, that means that the 3 magnets underneath that specific cluster are on and pulsing. So if you see those things flashing white and your ball rolls over them, it's more likely than not going to launch somewhere where you don't want it to be. I mean, that's just what Pat does with magnets.
I can tell you the very first game of the night, I definitely had some magnet screw with me a little bit. Yeah. So go back and rewatch the stream, and you'll see.
I was surprised
shenanigans.
Right, because I did hear some feedback where people were like, I don't see the magnets doing anything interactively. When you're playing, they absolutely do impact the ball.
After MGC, one person, Duncan, was messing with the magnets quite a bit.
Okay.
And trying to get them a little bit better. I think he did a pretty good job in terms of, getting them more active and more obvious than what there was before.
And speaking right now, that was Keith Johnson from Jersey Jack Pinball. Eric Meunier is to my left from Jersey Jack Pinball. And then who just busted the PinQuest challenge. Now, ironically, it's Joe Katz. Now, Joe struggled a little bit out of the gate tonight, but he was the first to kind of take the million-point score down after the PinQuest challenge was issued.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. I was the first one to hit $1 million.
You were.
I just wanted to
Don't
say.
deny it.
But you were also the first
Just
person to
before.
miss 2 of the wizard modes before finally getting into the wizard mode. But no, I'm just busting chops here. But it's all in good fun. And again, we can't thank everybody enough that's in chat tonight, just kind of hanging out with us and experiencing the game with the way I think it should be experienced, with the staff here kind of showing us how we should be approaching this game. And I'm going to take this as a learning experience and going forward as we stream the game for the next week or two. I've got a different strategy, I think, as far as getting those points and achieving those PinQuest challenges.
Yeah.
There is another set of rules that are on those little 6 cluster inserts. As you're hitting the different stand-up targets around the playfield, there are 3 significant stand-up targets. As you're hitting those, I think you have to hit them each one time in order to complete a level. And I think if you complete, it's either 3 or 6.
Well, I think each one lights half of a circle.
Okay.
So it's probably like 12.
12 total hits.
12 total hits will light the extra ball.
Okay, so that's the easiest way to earn an extra ball, or qualify an extra ball, is by hitting those stand-up targets, which will murder you. I mean, they shove the ball straight back down your throat at 1,000 miles an hour if you're not careful. Backhand, otherwise, if you forehand those targets, they're coming straight back down the middle.
Right back at you.
Yep.
I think I know who this guy is. He's a staple on the Flip N Out streaming network. And caller, you are live on the air. What's up?
What's up, you maniac?
Hey, Dave Falgren.
Brother Dave, how we doing?
From the Plainfield, Illinois area. What's up, Dave? What's up, you maniac?
Speaking of a man who knows
Hey,
good beer.
Hey,
Eric,
cheers.
I got the important question for Eric is what beers have you had tonight?
So far, I've had this. I'm currently drinking Ninja vs. Unicorn. I had Pseudo
My daughter
Sue.
would love that.
Sounds like
Anything
a
unicorn.
like a
Well,
pin theme coming up here.
This is like a 8% beer, so I don't think your daughter should have this, Keith.
Oh, okay.
But
No,
I've
definitely
also had Pseudo Sue.
Yep.
And I had I think it's the United States voted #1 best beer, which was, why am I blanking? It's from Michigan.
That's a Bell's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bell's.
Yeah. Their IPA, 7%.
Which is nice
Won't
because
put the sun on it?
the special Winlet limousine service will be taking everybody home tonight. Which, thanks to those bits, guys, we are.
Bell's Two-Hearted. I had that earlier this afternoon.
Keith's on a bender of Diet Coke and Diet Pepsis. But, yeah, man, it's good having these guys in. It was funny because when we posted the stream, there was an immediate response from Dave Falgren because Dave is very involved in the Facebook chats and posts, and he said you better have your sours, you better bring your sours. Now I knew exactly what he was talking about because he knew that Eric was coming here, and Eric is a fan of the sour beers.
Yes, I am.
So for those of you that are looking to wine and dine a pinball designer, you want to send all your sour beers to Jersey Jack Pinball in Bensenville, Illinois.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Right, where they'll be tested.
Yes.
For quality assurance by me first, before we pass on everything that passes to Eric.
Cromwell would be the official poison tester.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, it's good. I'm glad you called in. Anything going on your end? Anything happening or what?
Oh, over on this end, I'm just cleaning up over here, working on some busted pins and listening and watching you guys a little bit. Just rolling on through.
Yeah, good times,
good
man.
Show tonight.
Yeah, you've been
Just seeing all
crushing.
these guys. And
It's a fun show every
seeing what's
single
going
week.
on.
It's guys like you
I
that
feel
call
like
in
if
every week.
If I don't call in and say something stupid, it's not a show, right?
I wouldn't feel correct about it. I'd go home feeling like we didn't do our job, in all honesty.
Well, be good,
But yeah,
man.
no.
And do me a favor, because next week we probably don't have anybody interesting coming in. So we're going to have to rely on a story or two from you. So start thinking about that right now.
Yeah,
if
you
don't mind.
guys. I didn't even get a chance to really comment much on the chat. Everybody was just rocking out. I'm just sitting back and just letting it roll because there's enough going on without me jibber jabbering. So yeah, I'll have to take some notes and have a little outline for next week.
Well, Joe Katz right now is over 3 million points on
Yeah,
one.
unfortunately, we weren't on the screen at the time, but he's
grand champ
He just
of the game.
knocked down a 287,000 Wonka Veda Super.
So that's good for like what, 40 million bits? What, that's like $3.75.
And he's got an extra ball. Yeah, well, there was a disclaimer there, so PinQuest is covered. But I do want to recognize the fact that Scott from Penn Stadium.
Oh yeah, he
matched those bits.
He ponied up.
He did too.
Thank you, Scott.
Man, I can't
Been
thank
a great night
everybody
for that.
enough.
Scott's a good guy.
It's been a fun night. But Dave, thanks for calling in, man. It's always good hearing you on Flipping Out, and it's always good to see what you're doing for pinball in general, man. So thank you.
Yeah. Good night, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, good brother.
Good.
Good night, Joe Fox. He's leaving us for the night.
Hey, Joe.
Let me comment
Thanks,
on
Joe.
Joe's game real quick here. He's playing his 4th mode right now for the blue modes, and he's done 3 of each of the other 2 things. So if he hits a captive ball a couple more times, he'll light the 4th
Captain
orange
Ball
mode,
Right.
and can't tell where he is in the loops, but he hits those a couple more times. He'll light the last bonus or super
There you go.
playfield multiplier.
Now
which
his
is 5X.
captive ball is qualified, and he actually started it. So he's played all 4 captive ball modes. He's played all 4 lower factory modes. He just needs to hit the loop. It looks like 3 more times in order to complete the factory.
He'll finish the factory, which will give him his second golden ticket.
Second golden ticket. Now, if you're expecting me to follow this up, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Well, they just put a challenge on there for you.
Saw that.
Is there a challenge for Eric now?
There
Yeah.
it is. 2 golden tickets on my next game. Whew. Not easy. Joe's going to, theoretically, we'll knock on wood here, do it on this game. So you can see an interesting thing that he did is he completed the top 4 set of modes, he completed the bottom 4 set of modes, but now they're blank, which means he can play them again, which is really awesome because you can really build in a huge strategy late game getting double Wonka bars or late game getting super spinner. I mean, Joe's at almost 200 Wonka bars, which is crazy. So if he were to qualify super spinner, if he were to qualify double Wonka bars, he would really blow that up.
Yeah, so he's going to fall just short of his final bonus tier here.
Right.
But still,
See what
nothing
his
to
bonus
sneeze at
X was.
bonus-wise.
I do want to also comment that
550,000 point bonus.
that LCD screen was a little washed out tonight, and that's my fault. I just made a last-minute adjustment per the recommendation of Penn Stadium. So I think what we'll do next week is we'll capture that direct video feed, which makes the most sense. And because of the contributions that were made during these streams, we're able to go ahead and add another capture card for HDMI output off of for video capture. So everybody that's donated
Contributed,
tonight,
thank you.
and over the last couple of weeks, it's going back into the stream, and we are not going to the Bahamas sipping on umbrella drinks. I'll tell you that much.
You mean I got to go to work tomorrow is what you're saying?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Go ahead, Eric. I see Eric and Keith now. They're dissecting the screen. Like, they're able to see things. Like, I'm looking at it almost like at hieroglyphics, and these guys are, like, nailing it down. They know what they're looking at.
So Joe is 2 orbit shots away from completing the factory, which is pretty cool. It'll qualify as second wizard mode. And I can tell that because on the lower right corner of the user interface, I can see the meter in the middle, right? So the Wonka tower meter is on the left side. The captive ball throw is on the right side, and the little looks like a Geiger counter is in the middle there for the playfield multipliers. So that's loop shots. And he's more likely than not going to pick one up on accident here in the multi-ball. So he's playing kid multi-ball.
You know what's great, man, is like I'm having fun watching this and listening to you commentate because I'm absorbing what
Taking
you're
it all
saying
in.
and I'm learning. Because now the next time I get on this game, I'm going to approach this so differently.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it, man.
It's kind of a double-edged sword when some people want to explore the game on their own and learn all the rules on their own, but there's also like this little nibble that you can get and you can go down the rabbit hole, right? You can start to explore it on your own if you've got some sort of direction on where you're going.
And yeah, Scott, thanks for the recommendation, man. I apologize that I didn't get to that earlier. I was just kind of going back and I missed it. Poor Man's Pinball Podcast is here. Yeah, we're still playing. Thanks for coming in, Ian.
Yeah, hopefully your podcast was good tonight.
We were just telling Eric that you guys are from Wisconsin. Eric, as a Wisconsin native, has potential interest of listening to some fellow Wisconsinians.
Show. We can go out on our boat, go out on our boat.
Absolutely.
Have some fun.
Keith, are you from the area originally then? Like, did you grow up
Nah,
in Chicago?
I'm from DC.
Oh, you're from DC?
Yeah.
So do you go back? You have family there? Do you go back to DC?
Yeah, they're mostly in Northern Virginia at the moment.
Are you
we actually
Are you a
just met
Nationals
all
fan
my-
or are you a Cubs fan?
Well, I moved up here before the Nationals were a thing, so
Sure.
technically I'm an Orioles fan.
Oh, nice. So you're a Cal Ripken guy.
Yeah, man. Oh God, Cal Ripken. I remember watching the night he broke the record.
Oh, it was
That
huge.
something else.
And he hit that home run that night. I mean, and this is the thing with baseball, and we'll get back to the street.
I don't even like baseball that much, but
baseball is this living entity. It
everyone
rewards
in the
those.
DC area.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And probably half the other country was watching that game that night.
I'm such a huge baseball fan. Another
go.
golden ticket there.
Joe just completed the factory.
Wow.
So if he can start, so you can't start a wizard mode if you're currently playing something else. But you can? Oh, it's not a multi-ball. Okay. So Joe's got to finish Slugworth multi-ball or drain down to one ball, and then he'll be able to shoot, I believe it's the TV, in order to start Wonka's office.
Yeah, the right's awesome.
Now, Outlane says, my favorite part of Pintastic was Eric going deep and helping me nerd out on Wonka and Pirates Code. So Outlanes is throwing you some props there,
Right on.
Eric.
Yeah, Pintastic was a lot of fun. I've never been to that show before. Gabe puts on a hell of a show.
Gabe's a nice guy.
Gabe's a very nice guy. He's really into it and really just bends over backwards to help people out in the community.
I agree. Mac Jedi says, fantastic stream tonight, guys. As always, thank you so much for coming in and for the nice words, man. Thanks for coming in. Tiki Pinball, Kirby Puckett. Oh, he's talking about some Minnesota Twin action there. Kirby
okay.
Puckett.
We got Wonka
We need to
office.
talk about
Here we
this a
go. All
little
right, let's
bit.
be quiet.
All right, here's Wonka's office. So, as we know, there's a lot of cut-in-half stuff in Wonka's office. So the way this mode works...
This is your favorite mode, right, Keith?
Yeah, this is the one I like the best. I believe probably Joe's, too. You start off with needing any left side shot, then any right side shot.
Right.
After you make 2 of the shots, you can collect the jackpot that's currently lit. You have the kid target for 3x, camera ramp for 2x, or captive ball for 1x. Or you can shoot the gobstopper and continue to build up the jackpot and try to collect it at a higher value next time. The catch being, every time you continue, you need 1 more shot than the previous time in order to requalify the jackpot or the continue.
So now Joe chose to continue.
So now he needs 3 shots in order
three
to...
shots.
And you'll see there's also a continue bonus. So as soon as you complete the 3 shots, you collect the current continue bonus. Gets added to your jackpot, and I believe you score the points.
This is like one of the weirdest, trippiest
Right, as you can
LCD
see,
animations I've ever seen.
Only half the LCD is qualified.
Yes.
Only half the playfield inserts are qualified.
So the playfield is correlating to the side of the screen that's being lit for point values?
Right. And it's showing the only shots that are available. So now Joe could cash it in. Oh! Nothing!
Nothing! You lose! You lose! Good day, sir! Woo! Nicely done, Joe. Nice ball, man.
So that's what happens when you try to go big or
That's
go home.
awesome,
you
man.
go home.
That's cool. He's got a little Wonka bars he collected along his path there, 135. Nice ball, buddy.
Wow, that's just insane.
That is insane. Now, that's something you might not see on any other streaming networks tonight, but only on the Flip N Out Pinball channel. At least you won't see as many people excited about it.
Joe's got 5 million.
I was excited when he passed the million.
Yeah. And he can check his progress here for his other golden tickets.
Loser Kid says, how does the mode not
Got
give
some
you
way
a
to
seizure?
Apparently, Loser Kid missed Oompa Loompa.
Right.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, that was fun.
So during status report, you can look at your progress toward the other different wizard modes. When I just saw that briefly, it looked like Joe had 3 of the 7 kid multi jackpots qualified.
Okay.
So he needs to do some work there. I think he'd only done 1 of the gobstopper jackpots as well.
So at
you can see the
5.1
gobstopper's jackpots on the screen right now.
That's right.
Right in the middle of the screen above the player score, there's like 5 little spots there, and he's got 1 gobstopper floating. So you know he's gotten 1 out of the 5 required supers for that golden ticket. Everything on the display means something.
So 5.1 million is not only a respectable score, but I think for most people that own this home, that would be a Grand Champ score that would hold its weight for a while, right?
That's a damn good score.
It's
Sorry
very
about
good,
that, Steve.
Yeah, Steve, you might have to do a
Might want to change the
factory
batteries.
reset after this.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Joe's had 8
Joe,
or
hey,
so.
nice job, man. That was a great game.
Joe's gotten to 8 million or so, I believe, maybe
Yeah.
higher. I've gotten 7.
But I'm just saying,
But he's played it way more than I have.
The way he
True.
started tonight, this has to be so satisfying for him.
Oh, no doubt.
To kind of go out on a huge bang there. That was pretty impressive.
Joe's really got to like how it's feeling right now after that game.
That's awesome.
I remember the first time I qualified my second wizard mode, there was a code bug. And it crashed the game.
Right. Oh, no. Who coded that?
It was
Who's
brutal.
on that?
It was brutal. Everyone was watching, too.
Darth Kubert, thanks for the follow. Good times.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were walking through it.
Now, we did run a contest this evening.
Sure.
And you want to keep some Wonka going? That'd be
Eric's
great.
going up now, yeah.
All right. I was challenged.
Eric attempting to take down Joe's score.
So Eric Meunier, designer of Pirates of the Caribbean, steps up to Willy Wonka now.
That was an unfortunate Wonka's office, but at least they got to see
It was great. It was great to see.
Yeah, it's great to see.
That was awesome.
But there's some
hopefully-
agony that could be in that.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, right. That's it's a gigantic possible payoff for that mode if you play it well.
Yeah, it is.
And it's. I mean, basically, it was your hope that it could be
Yeah.
a really amazing moment in a tournament one day or something, right?
Exactly. That's my hope. Yeah, I'm hoping that someone gets to Wonka office and they're down by 500,000, and they're just like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna cash it in a triple jackpot and win this game right here.
So you had adrenaline going because I mean, let's be honest, you didn't have the best starts tonight to the game.
Yeah.
And I don't say that it's pregame jitters. I just think the pinball gods weren't aligned for you as you kind of got used to the machine and the environment and the people you were hanging out with. But
he was just trying to make me feel better about not being such a great player. What a guy for that, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Joe's about the pinball experience.
He is.
Whether that's throwing games or
Right.
making some outstanding code, that's kind of where it's at.
I don't know. I guess I've learned playing pinball since I was 6 years old that pinball can be very humbling.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But
it can be so rewarding.
Yeah. I mean, if you have the skills and you have the flipper skills and you know what to do, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do it, which is sort of the beauty of it, which I think a lot of us love it for that very reason. I mean, it doesn't just...
Yeah, if anything, that final game made it ultimately clear tonight. If you go back and watch Joe struggle throughout the night, and for that matter, Eric and I as well, for him to have that game now, all of a sudden, it's just like, that's what pinball's about.
Exactly.
Now, we ran a meme contest on our Special When Lit Pinball podcast channel because myself, Ken Cromwell, and then Bill Webb, we are the co-hosts of Special When Lit Pinball podcast out of Chicago. And we talked to Jack Meunier and we was like, hey, we're going to run this contest. So he's going to send some swag our way that we're going to give out to the winner of the best meme that was posted in regards to Willy Wonka. Did you guys get a chance to look at this at all?
I did see a few of them, actually.
Okay. Now, I'm not asking you to commit right now, but was there one that might have stood out to you that you enjoyed more than another? And if you don't remember, I can recap some of these for you.
Yeah, can you recap? I don't have Facebook. I just saw them. I was just briefly looking at them the other day.
Okay. So we have... for Ryan C. from Head to Head Pinball says, tell me more about your Whirlwind, which is a running joke because we've been covering Bill's Whirlwind for a long time, so that's funny. Crystal Gemnish says, can't make that ramp shot? Tell me more about how the flippers are too weak. So she's kind of giving some people the business that blame the flipper weakness on them not being able to make a shot.
I chuckled at that one, but I wasn't sure if she was just... I wasn't sure what the intent there on that one was.
I don't think it was a ruining intent. I think she was busting balls on people that can't make the shot. That's the way that I took it.
Right, I hear you.
Our buddy Rob Bruton says, cheer up, Charlie. The worst song from the movie isn't in the game.
I do like that one.
I do like that one, too.
I'm going to go give this another try real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Brad Hunter says, have you seen my elevator? It's a world under glass. So that's
Not
Brad. Dr. John says, you think you want a tour? Immigration laws took my Oompa Loompas, and you're in the new workforce. So
that's a mouthful.
It is a little bit, but I appreciate it. Josh Root from Loser Kid says, flipping out streams with Bill and Ken are the best way to get an all-access tour of the Chocolate Factory without having to lick a snozzleberry.
Again, another mouthful, but not bad.
All right. Josh Root also says, tell me more stories like how Dave Fahlgren met Pamela Anderson with Kid Rock at the New Year's party. So that's a joke from the last stream. Josh has
I was
a couple
lost
of
by
these.
that one. I mean, I heard you guys talking about that last week, but I had no idea what you were talking about.
I think we were all kind of shocked and awed by that
Right.
story, but we enjoyed it. Mike Heckinson says, feeling cute? Maybe multi-ball later. I don't know. That was kind of creepy to me, but I like that he kind of participated. David Dennis says, still on the fence about Wonka? Ask me again about the code and assets. So he's giving a dig to everybody that doesn't think the code is where it should be. But
I'm going to say that's the winner right there.
That's the winner right there? All right. Well, David Dennis is in the running there. So you like David Dennis right there.
I do like that one.
All right. So David Dennis, you are going to get some swag here provided by Jersey Jack Pinball. I also wanted to go ahead and say, hey, Maid, he gifted a sub to CNK. So thank you so much for the sub in the channel.
Yes, thank you.
I love the teamwork on that. Thank you, guys. Brad Hopkins says, oh, you have a pinball podcast? Tell me more about your top 5 reason not to go for multi-ball. All right. Charles Gent says, our second game without Johnny Depp assets. Well, thank goodness for at least that second one. Rob Kokoro says, what about your first impression? Surprises around every corner, but nothing dangerous.
Right.
Don't be...
Which is right out of the movie.
Don't be alarmed.
Right, even though 4 kids get mutilated and killed.
So why do we show 2 different streams right now of the same thing on that screen? Are we not showing the game anymore?
Yeah, no, I will show the game right now. I apologize there. I will transition to the game.
Was my game on there?
Yeah, no, your game was.
No, it was lost in the Ethernet.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. That's what I was hoping for.
Make sure that's documented.
I mean, after all those games, I was hoping that one was going to be seen.
All right. So, and Tony Evans says, "Oh, so you don't like pinball? Please tell me about how it feels to suck at pinball." And then we got one more for you, and I want to see your reaction to this one. It says from Ian Haberman, and he's one of the co-hosts of the Poor Man's Pinball podcast. He says, "Oh, you have an art degree? Tell me more about how the letter H has ruined your pinball experience." So your favorite one. Now that's my favorite one.
I think that was my favorite one too.
So I think, Ian, we need to send some promotional Wonka swag his way for that effort, and that was really good. And then you had the other one that you liked there.
Guy talking about code and assets.
And that was David Dennis. He says, still on the fence about Wonka, ask me again about the code and assets. So I think those are going to be the 2 winners tonight for the Wonka swag. So do us a favor.
Reach out to us on our Facebook.
Yeah, so you know what? Message us, as confusing as this gets, myself and Bill.
Or Zach. Either way, we can.
Or Zach, yeah. We're from Special Winlet Pinball Podcast. We're streaming on Zach's Flip N Out Pinball channel. So contact one of us and let us know. We got a little Wonka Vader multi-ball going here, or what do we have?
Yeah.
There we go.
I have some 520 swag at home. I have a 520 swag beer glass.
Zonrith wants to know, and that's Dennis, what the Gottlieb is to the right of Congo. And Dennis, that is my
Class of 1812.
billion. That's how it sounds. That's class of 1812. That's the pin that's eluded me over the last several months. Good time.
That was one of the pins I had in on my house as a kid.
Oh, really? That's why you'll never have it in your house ever again, will you?
No.
So I'm not missing out.
Okay. My old man really liked that game. He also really liked Bride of Pinbot. And my brother's favorite game was Black Knight 2000. So those 3 games were in my house when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, good times.
Yep.
And for those of you, again, joining us on the Flip N Out Streaming Network, we've got Joe Katz, Jersey Jack Pinball, Eric Meunier, Jersey Jack Pinball, Steve Beatty, one of our partners in crime is Special Win Lit, Bill Webb from Special Win Lit Pinball Podcast, Ken Cromwell from Special Win Lit Pinball Podcast, and busting down Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory right now is the mad scientist Keith Johnson from Jersey Jack Pinball.
I did this last time on your stream, but I'm going to do it again.
Yes, please.
I just want to give a shout out to Ted and JT and Duncan and Bill for all the hard work they also put into this game.
Yep.
I know I'm here the one talking about the game, but this game wouldn't be where it is without them as well. And I think, everyone should be recognized for the very hard work that they put into it.
Absolutely.
I mean, even Eric, he's in our credits as the factotum because, he's sort of, playing and helping us kind of decide what's fun and finding bugs. And again, everyone in our office does so much that it's mind-boggling.
And if you get please extend the invitation for any of them to come out and stream the game with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because where I know you guys as point of contact on things like this. I don't have any way to contact anybody else. So if they would like to come stream it, we would love to have them come
Absolutely.
out.
Yeah,
so, and if there's no hesitation there. It's an open invitation. I would imagine we're going to stream this game for the next couple of weeks at least. So if they would like to come out and take the Pin Quest challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Pin
So
Stadium.
for us.
Pin Stadium's asking about Wonka Office.
Yeah, please.
How to get to it.
Yep.
And essentially, it's the second golden ticket mode. So after you get your second golden ticket, however you may get it, I happen to get it there by completing the factory. So I played all 12 factory panels. But you could do it, by getting all the kid jackpots or beating Wonka Vader multi-ball, or getting all the Gobstopper jackpots. So there's multiple ways to get the second one, but I particularly just got all of the factory.
Keith just broke $1 million.
Nice.
Which would have been great, but I'm pretty sure we're maxed at that first 1 million. But Keith, nicely done, buddy.
right.
And anybody that gets $1 million gets a round of applause from the stream tonight. Nicely done, buddy. Nicely done.
So that's all 3 JJP guys broke $1 million.
Now it's someone else's turn,
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty impressive.
One of the non-JJP guys.
All right, I'm going to jump on.
There we
Give
go.
it up.
Keith, you want to take over for me over here?
Lumberjack. We want to do JJP live
Right.
again, and
Right.
hopefully someday we will.
The problem is
it's definitely not dead.
There's so few people who work in our office, and we all have so.
Hey, no problem.
much
We'll take
stuff
over this
to do.
podcast.
We got
No
this.
problem.
I mean, you're
We got
basically watching JJP live right now. so-
Oh, this is going to get real.
Right.
We got it. We got it.
We got this.
We don't need you anymore. We got it. JJP Live is now live on Flip N Out.
What does this button do?
Yeah, Outlanes, I hear you. Hopefully we'll, maybe we got some code updates to some games, someday coming soon,
Right.
and maybe we can,
Yep.
we could share those,
Showcase that.
when they're ready, and we can maybe kind of show off what's changed or what's been.
we
I
still
totally
excited.
forgot about Oz. We need to do Oz pretty
Right,
soon.
we haven't
so
done
Yeah.
We'll work on
so-
that.
Yeah, and Oz we haven't actually done
But
yet, so
it's just difficult because you got basically me, Joe, and Keith who have to take at least an hour and a half out of our day, and we've got lots of stuff to work on. We don't have a massive engineering team, right, that can host this stuff. So there's 6 programmers in our office, and you're looking at a third of them right there. Right. There's 2 game designers, me and Pat. So it's hard to chisel out that much time for a large part of the office to do JGP Live, but we love doing it, and we know the fans love it too. So we'll definitely make time to do WAS soon, and then when there's code updates for other games, we want to showcase those.
Yeah, I've been eyeballing the Yellow Brick Road that we have in the back, and I was thinking
Right.
that'd be a perfect one to do for
Right.
Oz, just to play it again. And
Yep.
I think it's a game worth explaining to people
Oh,
that
man.
maybe don't know, because that's another
Such a
just
good game.
masterpiece that's
Such a
been
good
made
game.
that I don't think gets enough love, especially when you learn how to play it. It's definitely worth streaming.
Mm-hmm. One of my fun things, so I have a WAS at home, and I have a young child. He's 20 months old, not quite able to talk yet, but whenever the witch pops up on screen, he just starts screaming at her, like, "Ah, get the witch!" So I will encompass that next time we play WAS on screen. Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard, that's coming pretty good, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I just
yeah.
love my Confederate flag covered orange, whatever car that is.
I think he wants to transition us to the after-hour camera, so you guys don't have to. They don't want to see them play, apparently. Right, right.
But you guys, please take over the screen. It's like a raid. It's a JJP raid.
Right, exactly what it is. I guess I probably should have been hosting on JJP Live this whole time. I sort of forgot that.
Oh, yeah.
That was a mistake.
Oh yeah, we
Oops.
used to do things like
Yeah.
that for people.
Yeah,
They're all here.
As I was driving, I thought about it, and then I totally forgot when I walked into this place. So, oh well.
We endeavor to serve you better in the future.
Yeah.
Are there any questions we missed in the stream?
I haven't seen one recently.
Anybody have
but
anything else they want to ask the 3 of us while we're here not playing?
This is your chance.
While we're just sitting here judging the special and lit crew?
Right. That's another thing I
Spoiler,
think.
it's not good.
Right. That's another thing I think I hear a
boss
lot.
hog.
I hear a lot of, I hear it in the office. I've heard it growing up. I feel like people who don't think they're good at pinball for some reason don't like other people watching them play pinball, but I just like watching people play pinball.
Oh, yeah.
I like watching their thought, and I like watching what they're doing. I don't even care if you're good or not. Like, it doesn't matter to me.
Right. I think we definitely come from a unique perspective because we are all creating the environment in which people are playing. Right. It's different than watching someone play a Stern game. Like, it's fun to see how they explore the game, but it's more fun to see someone explore a game that we created.
Right. Yeah, this even goes back to before I was creating, before I was even doing this. Like, even at an arcade, I'd go to an arcade and my friends would be afraid to play because they thought I'd be judging them. But honestly, like, I just like watching people play pinball. I think it's fascinating. Favorite shot on Wonka? I love the kid start multi-ball shot.
Yeah, that's a tough shot. And now Joe recently in a software update internally that's I think pushed on 1.07, having it feed to basically qualify super spinner each time you hit that when not in any other mode is really fun. Or basically any time.
Yeah, it's
you
a
hit
one-time
that
shot, right?
You can hit the spinner and just rip your Wonka bars. So
yeah, that shot can be ridiculously valuable almost any time.
Almost any time, yeah.
I know for a fact that I've gotten a 750,000 kid super before, and I believe I've had one even higher than that.
Yeah.
Hey, 750, 751, whatever it takes.
Right.
It's like,
yeah, I mean,
that was with 3 kids completed during a 5-kid multi-ball and 5x multiplier.
Right.
So that super was 150, and I know that I've also collected a 5x super with 4 kids completed.
Right.
And I didn't see the total on that one, but I think it was big because my total for that kid multi-ball was 1.9 million.
Yeah, that was a big one. That's probably the biggest kid we've seen yet, actually. Yeah, that super spinner thing, though, I think it makes you shoot a shot that really isn't, used all that much right now. I mean, I was just getting 11,000 per spin on my last game.
Right.
So, I mean, if you set it up correctly and you have a multiplier running and you have some candy in that candy jar, those super spinners can just be so lucrative in bonus and in points. It's endless.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very close to 200. I unfortunately didn't get 200. There's that little funny Easter egg in there that I don't think anyone's heard yet. But maybe someday when someone gets 200, they'll hear it.
Let's rip through some of these questions here. What music does Pat Waller listen to? I have no idea.
I am 90% sure Pat is a country fan.
Oh.
Other than that, I don't know.
Oh, that would explain
Country.
Roadshow.
I was gonna say,
that would
yeah.
explain Roadshow. How does it feel to be inducted into Loser Kid? It was awesome. It was fun to talk with you guys on your podcast. I appreciate that. With 2 designers, is it hard to work on titles to come? It's difficult, right? We've got a long list of titles we want to do with only 2 of us doing main game design. It's a difficult hat to wear at the company.
Pin rules, the no bonus thing is just a setting. By default, that doesn't happen. But we find it kind of funny because there's those 3 really funny signs in the movie when they've all run out of Wonka bars, and it says like no, don't ask, no Wonkas, and it's in like Japanese and it's in German and it's in English, and I just find it hilarious in there when you get no Wonka bars. But you have to turn it on because we were kind of cruel. People think it's, we don't want you to feel bad when you're playing, so it's not on by default. But if you're in a competition, that will turn on in competition mode.
Right. Pin golf tournament. A couple of quick goals. I think Gobstopper multi-ball would be an easy one.
Yeah.
That would probably be par 2.
We're burning through those signs real quick.
Kid multi-ball would probably, just starting kid multi-ball. There's so many different ways to qualify it, so it'd be good for a pin golf sort of setting. I think what else could be a good...
I mean, if we're talking easy stuff.
Easy stuff.
I would say get 1 super lock.
Get 1 super lock? That could work.
What are we talking about? Like dumbing down the question?
No, someone was pin golf questions.
Pin golf.
Oh, okay,
Right.
good. Because I was like, I immediately felt bad stepping in on this.
Spell scrumdiddlyumptious. Yeah, that would be a par 5.
So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a wall of shame game here.
Okay.
So we're obviously not lighting it up tonight. So what I would like for you guys to think about us doing, the 3 of us are gonna play another game here.
Okay.
I think the qualifier is we have to hit 500,000 points.
Right. Combined?
No, just individually. For anybody that doesn't hit 500,000 points, there has to be a penalty that doesn't involve like physical slapping or anything.
Okay.
But think about it, because we can go across the room here, and for anybody that doesn't hit 500,000 points on this game, we pay the penalty.
Okay.
Because it's only fair because everybody's been rewarding us for your efforts. but now we have to be punished for
Now
our
you'll
lack
be
of
punished
efforts.
for your failure.
That's exactly right, Keith. Keith's on top of it. Keith's like, I have 19 things ready to go. So please, whatever you guys can think. All right.
If anything, I understand sadism.
Okay. I'll be the first to fail.
Outlanes, to be honest, I'll probably never watch this movie again. But that's just my own personal
I'm probably
opinion.
in the same boat with Pirates. I watched
Yeah.
those movies so many times, I could probably quote them all to
Yeah.
anyone whenever they want.
Yeah, I've seen Wonka so many times in the last year that
And then-
I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
Right, not even be able to watch the whole movie, but just watch specific scenes over and over
Yeah,
and
it's-
over and over again.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Great movie. I loved it as a kid, but I think I've officially ended that. Skip, how you doing, Skip? Hope you're enjoying the game still.
Loser Kid coming up with how amazing Pirates of the Caribbean is. Feel pressure to live up to pay what you see in your next game. I'm excited to do another game, a completely different game. I'm looking forward to it. Pirates was a lot of fun. Looking forward to another approach on a new game.
A very different approach.
It is a very different approach.
Did he really just say that on there?
Oh my God! Spoilers.
Oh my!
Oh, snap!
Oh my! That's gonna cause a thread. Yikes!
What did Kiefer mean? I don't know. Oh my God! What's this game going to be?
Does it have a physical ball?
Do I want to buy it? I don't know.
Is it gonna have assets?
Is it going to be synced?
Oh my God!
I'm not gonna lie. I did not have the most impressive first ball. So
Yeah, that penalty. I totally forgot about even
We
thinking
might
about
have
a
to
penalty.
be-
But let me
We
keep
might have to
thinking
be pretty
about
nice
it.
with these
Never
penalties
mind.
because it
Never
seems like
mind.
they're going to happen a lot.
Ooh, well,
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but Shame is the name of the game here tonight for the Special One Lit guys streaming on Flip N Out Pinball Network.
Shame.
I mean, I feel
You
like
said no physical pain, right?
Physical pain, just emotional
Yeah,
pain.
my
Emotional pain.
This is the
too.
whole thing. Like, I don't make money doing this, so my wife does not allow me to take physical harm on my body.
right.
I don't even know if she would allow me to do that for money, but potentially.
I mean, I feel like the only thing obvious here is like shots, right? I mean, isn't that what you guys are doing anyways? You're taking shots.
And
so-
that's funny because that's
Well,
also
maybe a choice.
Shots are temporary.
Maybe a shot, or
It's a risk and a reward,
You
Eric.
drop a pinball on your arm from 2 feet.
Or somebody throws a pinball at me from 5 feet.
Oh, see, now we're
God,
getting
you don't
somewhere.
want that. You don't want
Underhand.
That could literally kill you.
It depends on the clear coat I have, though.
Do you have a hungry hippos in your house that we could put razor blades in?
I do not. Oh, we got Joe.
The alligator game.
That got really serious.
Because that's what you really want.
How about we go emotional pain instead of physical
all
pain?
right.
Something like
I don't know. Look it up on YouTube. I'm telling you, it's something.
I heard
worst
shots.
mistake.
It wasn't Hungry Hippos, though.
Was
It
it?
was
Oh.
the alligator chopping game.
Ah, yeah, right. It looked like Hungry Hippos, but you're right.
Sorta, yeah.
Would JJP ever do a video game theme in the near future? Halo to me from JJP would be awesome. Berto, I grew up playing Halo a lot. I actually we dug a trench. So there were 2 buildings on my property when I was a kid. And we had like basically 2 separate houses where my uncle and my brother and my cousin lived. And then the rest of the family lived over in another house, and we actually dug a trench so I could run a landline to their house, so I could whoop their ass at Halo. They were 8 years older than me, my brother and my cousin, and yeah, that's a shout out to Chris at Kingpin Games, my older brother.
Kingpin.
Whooped his
Shout
ass
out.
at Halo, day in and day out.
Yeah.
So Halo would be awesome.
See, I never played Halo, ever, any of them, because I was over first-person shooters in 2000.
At Counter-Strike,
Right.
and
At Quake 2,
The
you were done with it.
No, the last first-person shooter I played religiously was Team Fortress Classic.
There you go. Yeah, I would love to do a video game theme. Video game themes are tricky, though.
yes,
Because,
very much so. Look
let's
at the
ju-
video game themes that have actually happened,
Right.
and how many of them have been like knocked out of the park.
Well, we actually,
Yeah.
I'll give you this old story. When some people know some of the old themes you tossed around at the time we were doing Simpsons. One thing we were interested in doing was Survivor at the time. Another one is Futurama. Most people know that one probably. The third one that I really wanted to do was Grand Theft Auto, because Grand Theft Auto 3 was so hot back then.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, those games would be awesome to do any of those, really.
So we actually had a line on Survivor, but we couldn't do it outside the country, so that was a deal breaker. Futurama, we were like, we like it and all, but we just don't know if it's going to be around. And while working on Simpsons, it got canceled, of course, the first time.
And then it came back, and then it got canceled.
Yeah, but that was years later. Like, I don't think the movies came out till 2 or 3 years after that.
Right.
And then Grand Theft Auto, they didn't want to have anything to do with us.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Rockstar's like, yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah,
You
pretty
know,
much.
time.
We make enough money. Yeah, video games are interesting. I'm not sure how they could be handled nowadays, though.
Right.
We have a big screen. We need to do something on that big screen. So, you can't just be like, hey, Rockstar,
but
give us all your assets
but
so
the
we can
thing
make
is-
a pinball machine out of it.
Our team of video developers is JP to win. So,
right.
Like that's the team. And when you're designing a video game, you need more than just one person, even if he is the best person.
Right. Yeah, it's a tricky thing. I think a lot of people who play pinball was at one point in their life playing video games, so there's a lot of that. But it's a tough one.
Is there a lot of choosing people's fate for failure?
Oh no, we forgot about that again. Sorry.
Did you really?
All right. We got into a theme conversation.
I'm thinking most embarrassing pinball moment, like share publicly now with the internet.
Oh.
Like
what's the worst thing you ever did in pinball?
The worst thing you ever did in pinball.
Okay. That no one else knows about yet.
Right.
Yeah. I have one of those. I have one of those, but I'm never going to tell anybody. So
I have one. I mean, it sucked, but you know.
Oh, Joe, you want a shot?
No, I'm good, thanks.
All right.
I love Back to the Future.
Ooh, Pacific Rim.
I grew up watching Back to the Future.
A new Pac-Man, huh, man?
Michael Jackson.
Oh,
pin got
SS Billiards. Hey, Lloyd, how you doing, man? The
Ooh,
great
super.
Lloyd the Great.
Lloyd.
The great Lloyd the Great. Part of our tech support team here at
Mario
JJP.
Kart.
All
Again,
right, we got one victim.
Mario anything.
Yeah, Mario
Good
anything,
stuff.
of course. But,
Good stuff.
then you got to deal with Nintendo, and they're not just going to be like, oh, yeah, here's
Yeah,
everything.
Take all of our
Right.
intellectual property and do whatever you want with it.
So I don't know who designed this game, but it's something's not off about it.
Yeah, it's mean. It can be
Pretty sure I
mean.
just saw a 5.5 million point game.
You know what's strange is like when you get in the zone in the game, like everything just flows and comes natural to you. But when you start overthinking your shots, it comes back to get you.
Well, I think that's kind of what happened to me the first 4 games I played
Yeah.
today. I was over.
That makes sense.
I wasn't just playing. I was trying to show off, and it backfired badly.
Trying to show off.
Yeah, it backfired.
Well,
and then nobody was watching, and I put up 5 million. So what are you gonna do?
Right.
But the camera was on your game, so
Right.
that's
Right.
documented for internet history.
I mean, well, it did miss that 287,000 super, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right.
Other
Keith
than
was
that-
calling that out.
That's unfortunate, but that's all right.
And then poor Keith, like, is in the middle of a game. He's got extra ball lit, and I'm like, "Hey, that Wonka video, multi-ball," and then he drains. And I was I'm like, "Oh, sorry, rookie mistake." There.
Right.
Probably should not have mentioned anything like that. I want to go ahead as we've got the stream running for at least another 10, 15 minutes before we shut it down. I want to thank everybody here in chat. I want to thank everybody that has supported this stream just by being here, or by your bit contributions or sub contributions. I want to thank the Jersey Jack Pinball team, Keith Johnson, Joe Katz, Eric Meunier, for coming in here and giving a unique
Ooh,
perspective.
this is a call.
Oh my God, you got a
my
call.
gosh.
I think this guy called already.
Do you know how to answer that, Keith?
I think this
Hey,
guy.
I don't even know where the
hold on.
This number
gotta
looks
use a
familiar.
pad?
I think this might be Jobber actually.
You take the call.
I don't know. Whatever they decided. I thought it was Hungry Hippos.
Thank you, caller, for calling the Flip N Out Network. How may we be of service?
Yeah, this is Dennis Creasel from the Eclectic Goobers podcast.
Hello, Dennis.
Yeah, I just wanted to correct a couple of incorrect statements you guys said over the stream, if that's okay.
No. Now listen, caller.
This would be interesting.
I know Dennis Creasel from the Eclectic Gamers podcast. So if you're going to call him with a bit, you're going to have to come up with somebody that I don't know personally, where I can't allow you to potentially do something harmful. So let's come up with another pinball. How about your Ken Cromwell from Special One Lit Pinball Podcast?
Try again.
Sorry, Kenneth Diesel. Is that better?
That works for me. Kenneth Diesel. All right, go for it.
Kenneth Diesel from the Eclectic Goobers podcast. So here's some of the things that I wanted to correct for you guys. Candle power. This actually goes to Keith. For candle power, is an absolute unit of measurement for luminous intensity. The historical candle power is equal to.
I feel like I'm on pin side right now.
I don't know what's happening right now. I'm so
Welcome
confused.
to us every day.
Right.
Or 1.25 units of pin stadiumosity. Get it right, Kiefer. You call yourself a programmer? Jeez.
Heyo.
Jesus.
And
I will say that I am a programmer. I am not a luminescent expert.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now.
Also, the song November Rain is actually a Guns N' Roses song about unequited love. Yeah, the guy's very much in love with the woman, but she's no longer in love with him. Kind of how I feel about Zach Manning. Yeah.
Okay.
And this one goes to Eric Meunier, because that's how everybody pronounces your name.
Yeah, it's very French.
And they would be wrong.
The number one beer in the world, actually, Toppling Goliath Brewing Company's Kentucky Brunch Brand Stout. You see, if you get your hand on one of these things, you're going to taste just a little bit of maple aroma, followed by hints of chocolate and hazelnut. It's very similar to the smell emitted from Pat Lawler.
I don't know, caller. If I was running this show, I'd be cutting you off because I'd be pulling a Howard Stern and just disconnecting
Keith's behind
you
the controls there, man.
You're not helping the show at all.
Keith's running the board right now.
But thanks for
JJP's
calling.
taking over.
This is for Joe Katz.
Uh-oh,
Joe Katz,
this will be
I got a
good.
quote from Willy Wonka.
Way to
for
shake him
you.
up. Don't poke the bear.
Invention, my dear, is 93% perspiration,
Yep.
6% electricity,
Yep.
4% evaporation, and 2% bitching and crying from Canada.
And actually, that's a really good one.
Okay, that might have been
Now you can stay on the line.
Come on.
See ya, bye.
Can we get this guy to translate?
So you've just won a translate that we never had.
or whatever you're getting from Jack.
Listen, let everybody know the stream's all in good fun.
Oh, it's all in good
we're
fun.
We're not professional journalists here. We are having fun. We're trying to allow a little bit more promotion of the game that we are backing because we love the game, and to have the staff here. All right, Keith Johnson's man of the board. Go for it, buddy.
Well, we also got to remember pinball's supposed to be fun. So
Thank
we're
you for
allowed to
calling
have
the
fun.
Flip N Out Network. How may we be of service?
I'm going to disagree with you guys. I don't think pinball is supposed to be fun. I heard my name. This is Jobber, so I decided to call
Jobber
that.
called
Yeah.
back. Jobber's back.
Is this the second
and
call?
Since I have the coding team of this game on the line with me right now, I'd like to convey something from the Jack Danger stream from tonight. And
Okay.
Mr. Danger was wondering, is there any chance that this game or any JJP games in future code updates could possibly get the dead flip code?
The dead flip code.
Wait,
Anything's possible?
Let me clarify this real quick. So you're calling into the Flip N Out Pinball stream,
Shill,
asking about the dead flip
Absolutely.
pinball code. So what I think you need to
Absolutely.
do right now, Jobber, is after you get your answer, is go to the dead flip stream and ask if there's going to be a Flip N Out code that's going to be uploaded to the game.
I can
to Jack.
do so, or many codes.
I
we
think
could
you
have-
might be a double
they're-
agent
they're-
here. But go
All
ahead.
right, well, Jack knows I love him.
Yeah.
He can talk to me anytime, and we'll see what we can get done.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
It's a real
and,
possibility.
Jobber,
since
was
you are-
that really a cutting edge
really-
question that you were wondering all night long about?
Oh, he did
about
type.
Willy Wonka?
He did go through the trouble to type it in chat earlier, and I knew there was a question I was forgetting.
We've got the
the
JJP staff here tonight, and that's the question that you really wanted to hammer home because everybody wants to know if there's going to be a dead flip code in
Well,
Willy
Jack-
Wonka from a Jersey Jack Pinball release.
Jack asked, and I thought it was an opportunity to be a smartass, so I just took the opportunity to be a smartass.
You hit it out of the park there,
speaking of
Jobber.
which-
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Speaking of which, I feel as though the show has not had enough baseball on it, and let me just tell you this right now: the home run derby just ended, and your New York Mets
Spoiler alert.
selection has won
Alonso.
the 2019 home run derby. So on that note, I will let you guys go.
Hey,
Thank you so
Jobber,
much.
were you in chat when we
Good
talked
looking
about
hitter.
the Baltimore Orioles and the Cal Ripken streak? Because we did discuss that tonight. Or were you at another
he was
stream in
watching
which
Jack
you were wondering
Danger.
about flip codes?
Well, no, I mean, we're talking baseball, and I didn't get an opportunity to call in and say,
Okay.
Vlad Guerrero had 69 home runs. I mean, I wouldn't
Nice.
do anything low ball like that.
All right,
to
Jobber.
bring up the
I'll
number
talk baseball
69.
anytime you want, Jobber.
Absolutely. So
Keith, the
anyway,
little,
Jack-
little red phone button is
Jack-
what you clicked.
Jack
had
and
this
I will
call.
talk.
Thanks, Jobber. You know we love you, brother.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Well, anyways.
You're
Good night.
you're a pinball ambassador. That's for damn sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, Jobber.
Don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams. Oh, hey, that's the Ghostbusters reference.
We're going to wireless soon, guys.
All right, let's do this.
It'll be good.
Oh, man.
Keith, you're manning this, so we're gonna go with the JJP After Hours. We'll transition to that.
You got wireless headphones?
And then you got the call bank.
All right.
So, for anybody that calls in at this point, oh, I'm sorry.
No, all good.
Keith Johnson's running the phone lines. If he likes what you have to say, you get to survive for another minute or two. But if he doesn't like it, he's going to cut you off. So the numbers.
Apparently, I have a very low threshold for cutting off, or a very high one.
We've got a call coming in from the another area. We're not going to say the area codes, but Keith, go ahead.
Thank you for calling the Flip N Out Pinball Network. How can we help you?
Hey guys, how's it going tonight?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, it's Josh, the Loser Kid.
So this is Josh Roop.
Josh, what's up, man?
Host,
what's going on,
co-host of
guys.
the Loser Kid Pinball Podcast. What's up, Josh?
So my question for you guys, I know you probably can't comment on anything future as pinball related, but
Cut him off.
I want to know
You would.
if why should we come to Pinball Expo in Chicago? What does JJP? How can you hype it up for me to get my butt up there?
I can do no such thing.
Yeah, I can't help you on that one. Sorry.
Hey, Josh, thanks for calling in, buddy. Let's take this call.
Really,
man?
That's
Come
it.
on.
Come to Pinball Expo.
You know, so this is the thing that I don't understand. So I am helping with driving like a little bit of some media to Pinball Expo in order for coverage, and because I think that the industry show from Chicago it should be celebrated.
Right.
I don't understand why somebody needs to be enticed to come to participate in that.
I totally agree.
That just kind of blew my mind a little bit. So
Yeah,
I appreciate what happened.
Expo's
If our smiling, lovely faces aren't enough, what more can we give you?
I don't understand.
right.
Go ahead, Keith. You got it.
Ooh, this is a plus 55. I don't even know where that
Expo
is.
is the bounce.
This is somewhere in the world.
Hello, Flippin' Out. Welcome to the Flippin' Out Network. How can we help you?
Hey, Pinball Land.
Hey,
Howdy.
what's going on,
Howdy,
Pinball Land?
You?
What's up?
Yeah, I always wanted to say that. Should I say Pinball World?
Do what?
How are you, buddy? What brings you to the Flippin' Out Pinball Network tonight with Keith Johnson and Joe Katz and Eric Meunier?
He was busy playing and
Yeah,
can't hear
I
a
just
word you
wanna
say.
First of all, just want to say thank you. Most of the JGP things that we want to buy, we have to buy before we play it. So I've been watching your streaming. Thanks to everyone for doing such a great job. Wonderful job.
Thank you.
And thank you very much. I mean, it's a lot of work. You guys have been all the night. Tomorrow is a holiday in Brazil. I'll be in Brazil. So just drinking some wine and having really fun watching you guys playing. Playing
Awesome.
good, playing bad, but at least we have a sense of the game, and thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks for
Hey,
calling.
thanks for the
Thank
call.
you
See,
for
for
the
watching.
kind words.
That's a nice call. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. There's a lot of hard work
Yeah.
and effort that goes on.
Right.
What we see in behind the scenes, and I mean, for what, a year and a half, you guys are
Right.
on any given game before it actually comes out, and it's in a home or it's on
It
location.
varies, but it's
Yeah.
getting shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it has to now, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Jack said you guys have another game that will be
May or may not be available
revealed
for
by the
Expo.
end of the year. So, I mean, that's exciting. It makes me think Overdrive, like who's on the game, what team's on the game. We're not going to talk about that tonight because I know that for a fact there's nothing that you guys are willing to offer on that, and I respect your vow of secrecy.
I think the caller's still on the line. Yeah, you know.
Hey, if he wants to say something.
Yeah. Is he still there? Hey, what's up,
He didn't
man?
irritate us.
Hey,
so
that's
he's
a good
still
point.
there.
That's a good point.
Keith, I thought
That's
you
fair.
cut these guys
That's fair.
off like after their thing, but go ahead. Yeah, please.
Caller?
Yeah, just one more question. I think the question goes to Keith. I have a WASP at home,
Was?
and first time I play it, I have to read, I think, 10, 11 pages about the code. But after I read all of them and started playing really deep, it's just bolted here at my home. It'll never leave.
It's
So
bolted to the
thank you for
floor.
that.
Yeah.
And
Very cool.
yeah,
I appreciate
guess
the kind
question
words.
is, how do you approach a game? One is deep, one not so deep. So I have a Star Wars and a Was. And then when an open head comes to my home and play, they just get a little bit overwhelming. So how do you approach each game? It seems one is very deep, another one's not. How do you approach get something like Lord of the Rings, which is amazing, something like Was, which is amazing, Was. So a little bit, how do you guys draw the line?
Well, I mean, someone else said this about me, and it's absolutely true. I make games that I want to play, and hopefully they coincide that other people like them too.
yeah, I was gonna say you also make games that I like to play.
So good, and it all works out for everybody. Doesn't
We
it?
have similar tastes.
So I mean, it's funny you mention Lord and Oz because they are substantially similar games. I try.
And I love them.
I tried to make each game somewhat different. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. I mean, for a while, a lot of the games had a lot of similarities. Like, okay, got some multi-balls, got some modes. Was branched out from that a little bit better than Lord did. And, you know, Pirates was just different, but it had a lot of stuff in it, thanks in large help to Joe Katz and JT Harkey. And the next game is going to be vastly different than anything I've done before. So hopefully people like it and appreciate it. It'll be interesting to see how it's received. That's about all I'm going to say about that.
That's a nugget right there.
I was just saying,
nugget.
Thank you, Keith. I stepped away to pour a drink and missed the whole nugget. So now I have to watch my own stream back to see what I just missed. But I think I heard something about a different approach. So,
very cool. Yes, different approach.
Okay. So, Keith, if you don't mind, we can end that call.
All right.
Thank you for the caller for coming in. It opens up the line for somebody else to call in at the 630-283-2888. We are here on the Flip N Out studio, or the Flip N Out channel, and the Special One Lit Pinball Podcast Studio B for Beatty, Keith Johnson, Joe Katz, Eric Meunier, all here from Jersey Jack
a
Pinball.
local caller.
Yes,
Local
I
call.
believe we've already had this number, in fact.
Well, no duplicate calls. If there's duplicate calls, we have to.
Well, I guess I don't know for sure,
Hang on.
but
Hold on. What do we got here?
Wait! Stop, caller.
Hold on,
Welcome.
Hey.
Well,
respect the Keith.
Welcome to the Flip N Out Network. How may we help you?
Bill Webb, it's 10 o'clock. It's time to go home, you maniac.
Oh, dude. Dave Falgren, is that your Alexa alarm to go home to your wife? Like Dave Falgren's got. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your wife is, Bill?
Dave's making sure.
All right.
Dave's making sure we're safe tomorrow. That's really how that goes.
Yeah, no,
So.
It's
Dave's
all
good on
about-
that.
Hey, safety first, boys.
All right, thanks,
Safety
Dave.
first.
Thanks, Dave. All right, so Dave leaves the Flip N Out streaming channel, and we've got another caller coming in on the Flip N Out channel. Go ahead, Keith.
Welcome to the Flip N Out Network. How may we be of service?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
It's going.
Not much. Just calling specifically to talk to Keith and about Pirates of the Caribbean. It was a couple months ago. I was wanting to get one, and we kind of back and forth because the standard was the only one available, and ended up making the purchase and just loving the machine. And although I will have to say it's in the dining room because it's too damn heavy to carry upstairs.
The JJP games are
We
not
do-
conducive to relocation.
We do
Mike.
tend to make heavy games.
Many people have sold their homes with those games inside.
Even the standard bodies, like
Yes.
Wonka,
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, my dial-in is so heavy.
So no, it's a great game, and the only thing missing on it, I actually got to the final wizard mode to discover there's not a final wizard mode. But
I'm sorry,
I'm
such a
just-
failure.
No,
I won't let it happen again. I promise. Sorry, man.
I'm glad you're in good health. Everything went okay after the operation and the health issues you were going through, and look
Thank you.
forward to future updates on it. But so, what's I guess one of my main questions is, of all the pinball machines, which one was the toughest, the longest duration, I guess, coding wise, or what did you spend the most time on?
The answer to almost all of those questions is Pirates.
Yeah.
I mean, Pirates as a whole, we thought we were going in one direction. That kind of got yanked out from under us. So I was desperately searching for another way to approach the game.
No, that's interesting.
Okay.
It's another nugget for you.
A little bit of a nugget.
Well, yeah, we started off thinking we were going to have, modes in the game, like, like Hobbit had modes or whatever.
Sure.
And maybe not so many, but, and then we found out we did not have that possibility. So, I had no freaking clue what to do. It's like, we knew that we had a structure that we wanted to maintain more or less. And I was just like, fine, we'll just throw characters out there and we'll do scenes, sort of, and, match a character to the scenes, and we can do interesting things with them.
Right.
And hopefully it all works out.
Now, the interesting thing with that specific game, Pirates of the Caribbean, because we pronounce that the same way, Caribbean, not Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Is that the game is very successful without lending itself well with being super asset driven from a gaming standpoint. But on the flip side, it could also have been successful if those assets were obtained and in use. So it's like the game was celebrated not because of the license, but because of the design and because of the programming of that specific game.
Well, in terms of how the modes / chapters go, a part of it is there's just so much to that game in terms of different stuff. It's like you got the multi-balls, you got the map awards, then you had the plundering, and then the mystery stuff and all the other things. And in a lot of ways, I would say that the rule set turned out more interesting from a scoring perspective because of the chapter thing, than it would have with a standard mode-based game, in my opinion. Now, you could say that the modes would have been more interesting to play, on their own, but at the end, it's like, and I've said this before, and other people have said it, it's like modes are just shots on the playfield that you shoot for some reason. Sometimes they make more sense than others. So, fine, we'll just have shots on the game, but we'll label them, and there'll be a reason to shoot them, as lame as that reason might be. And, hopefully we can come up with interesting stuff as a result.
Yeah.
I think we did.
Yeah. Yep. And that's one of the great things I love about the game is that I have one of my favorite machines is Batman that I have, and it's a very asset driven game with line and sheet guns. But with this game, I'm not really missing it. And what I like about when you're in multi-ball, my focus is, okay, how can I add another multi-ball? But I also want to start a chapter so I can progress on to get to a wizard mode. And I love how you can keep the ball going not only with adding balls, but with adding different modes, adding different multi-balls to it. And that strategy, you kind of have you're juggling all these different things. And it's just I think it was a great approach to it.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate
Glad you
it. Yeah, I mean, we did the best we could with the cards we were dealt. That's kind of what I feel like with that game.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, and I appreciate everything you guys do. And I'm getting a Hobbit very soon to go next to it. So different game.
Very nice.
And I've been watching some screening.
They are different games.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Cheers.
I'd just like to thank the host for allowing us to come play here.
No, dude,
and
my pleasure.
And the
guys.
whole crew to let us come here and talk.
This is
I think
awesome.
It's been a lot of fun.
Steve
What a
Beatty
good
is
night.
the best host in
both
east
need
of the
more pins.
Mississippi.
Sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, the guy normally would have had like an unbelievable
Within a
schmoes-
reasonable distance of the Mississippi.
within St. Charles.
right? Within
the Fox River
the
Valley.
northern part of St. Charles. No, Steve's always a great host.
So
and,
no, usually I really do. I cook a bunch of food and
He really,
everybody
really
gets down,
does.
But we can't be eating on the street.
and,
Yeah, it's
and
kinda
this is
hard,
the
yeah.
thing too. Yeah, eating on a stream or a podcast.
That's a
is-
valuable lesson for anyone ever streaming ever, including a tournament.
Yes.
Yes. Now, you
Coach
could have
Louis.
come to Special Inlet Studios A, which is my house, in which you would have had a Black Knight Sword of Rage LE to play in your passing with a Wonka SE. But because of the amount of mics that needed to be, facilitated tonight, I think we were all in agreement that this was the more appealing background and appealing space. Like, we had space tonight. So, dude, thank you so much. Like, you're
Thank
always
you
a great
guys.
host.
Yeah,
so
thank
You guys are always welcome.
you guys are the great guests.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
love this.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Seriously,
wrap
though.
this stream up here in a couple minutes. Eric's getting ready to finish his game here on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Does this stream get saved to a file that you could send me that I can put on our YouTube channel?
Yeah. So what happens is the stream will actually be archived on and then uploaded to YouTube.
Okay.
So yeah, for sure, we'll send you that. I'm gonna edit all the stuff out where I played bad.
Right.
And
Me too. Which means we only got about 5 minutes a game.
Right.
There's
There's like 19 minutes of
time.
pinball.
It's pretty much
It's your one
game.
But even during those 19 minutes, Keith Johnson's like kind of like putting everybody in their place. I
Right.
love it. That's
Right.
awesome. Did you have fun tonight, Keith, coming out and just doing this?
Yeah, I always have fun talking about pinball.
Yeah.
you know?
It's
I-
good.
I like doing it. I mean, I started off like you guys. I was
Yeah.
on RGP back in the day, and then got a chance to go in, and the rest is history, more or less.
I'd like to say this because I know this wasn't addressed tonight, but there were a lot of people that were concerned because you had like a health issue scare recently. But you're here tonight, and you can tell everybody that you're rocking and rolling and ready to, go another
Yeah, I'm in
100,000 miles,
pretty
no
good
issues,
shape.
right?
I mean,
you're fine.
I've talked about it. It's I had a heart attack. It's basically a big lose of the genetic lottery on my part. Apparently, a family history of heart disease, and I've been type 1 diabetic since I was 15. So about 32 years of diabetes and heart disease history led to that. So, I got a stent put in the day I went in the hospital. 2 days later, I got 2 more put in, and
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Now I'm doing all right. Like a week
So
after I
now
left
the
the
code should
hospital,
be even
I was at
better.
work.
Good to hear it, man.
Yeah, right.
The
We'll
coach should be
see.
even better.
The ticker's good.
Right. So,
So
Thank
yeah,
you for the
I
follow.
went through
Thank you.
10 weeks of cardio rehab, and now
Wow.
I still try to work out a lot of mornings and keep doing what I'm doing.
So listen, I mean, and this is the
got
thing.
it.
Like, I am still a pinball enthusiast. So like, I don't consider myself pinball media. I don't consider myself somebody that can sway anybody. But hear me out on this, Keith, because as somebody as an enthusiast, I focus on what makes me feel good about pinball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't down times in pinball. That being said, professionally, I will discuss what makes me feel down in pinball. There's no reason for me to go out on a ledge, but pinball overwhelmingly is a positive thing. And the people within pinball are a positive thing. And when I think about where we started this like podcast that got into streaming, and now I'm hanging out with the heavy hitters at JJP.
Yeah, but really, we're just normal people. We're not,
You are, but you know what? I mean, it's a humbling
We're-
experience again because this is something that I'm passionate about. But now I got guys that are in control of that passion, that are here and they're talking about a game tonight. You got Eric Meunier playing the game right now, Keith Johnson, Joe Katz. I mean, this is the evolution of pinball, and you guys are here in our presence because we're pinball enthusiasts. So that being said, you qualified your point. You're normal guys, but you appreciate the fact that we're all kind of on the same page here, just trying to, further pinball for what it's worth. And
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I appreciate your efforts on that. I really, really do. And it's just me just kind of saying thanks from an outside-inside perspective, because I don't expect you guys to come here and want to stream a pinball machine.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys are doing this on your own free time.
Right. You're not getting paid.
Yeah.
I mean, and you guys have long drives home, but for you guys to come here
Not me.
and to talk about this game, well, not
Yeah.
you.
By and large, the
Eric,
pinball
yes.
community is.
I guess what I'm trying to say is,
It really is.
thank
Right.
you so
It
very
really
much
is.
for even doing that.
no problem.
Keith Johnson started manning the phone line.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
We took over the stream for a little
It
bit.
was so hard.
That was kind of JJP live for a few minutes there.
If Joe was on, if Joe was
Legitimately
managing that,
JJP
he'd
live.
be like, "Hang up."
Yeah,
hang
yeah.
Up, hang up, hang up.
I don't go for that. You're not lasting
Joe
on my
definitely
phone.
Hang it up
suffers
now.
fools much less
Yeah.
than I do. There's no
But
doubt.
Joe,
about it.
If you're not contributing to the show, you're being cut off.
Right.
I'll just get to the next caller.
But you, right? But you guys, you're natural now. You're like you're involved. Like,
That's great.
my hope is this. I hope that you guys come away from this particular experience positively, and you want to come back. We got another caller. Go ahead,
who
Keith.
do we have here?
Another caller.
Phone guy, Keith.
Possibly another duplicate. I'm not sure. Welcome to the Flip N Out Pinball Podcast. How may we be of service?
Welcome to the Poor Man's Pinball Podcast. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
Who are we speaking with?
This is Drew and Ian from the Poor Man's
Drew and
Ian. Oh, look at that.
Hey, Eric, your Wisconsin brethren
Podcast.
are on the line right now. So hold on a
Eric
second.
is actually having a decent game.
Hold on.
Eric's at 1.3 mil,
Yeah,
guys.
we got to finish our cheese real quick.
Now, Eric's going to take. He's going to
Slam
take
those 5
time
beers.
out into chat here. Now, hold on.
He's going to lose his mojo on this game because of this, though.
Well, I mean, and that's what we're all about.
Give him this one.
We're all about that.
If there's anything we're about, it's about losing mojo.
So
We have no mojo, so that works.
now
we
you
can't
guys
get
have
in it.
taken Eric out of his 1 million point game because I think it's important that you guys are on the same page here.
Of which is no proof because we don't have it on the screen.
And this is the Poor Man's Pinball Podcast that I had
Still not on the screen.
talked to you about earlier. So, all right. So yeah, please, you guys go ahead.
Oh, well, I just wanted to say, great job at the stream tonight, man. Joe, the Willy Wonka's looking great, man.
Thank you. Appreciate
Love
it.
Love it. You know,
But here's the
I'm in
thing:
on
it's
it.
actually
My
a good,
wife-
fun game. You know, I mean, this thing about assets and stuff like that. Are you having a good time playing it? Is it fun?
Right.
I'd like to say yes.
We
Oh, hell
we
yeah.
say that all the time, and
Should have heard our last
yeah,
podcast.
we just wrapped up recording, and we were actually just talking about that. If it's fun pinball, it's fun pinball, and it really doesn't matter what's in it.
Absolutely.
So,
It helps that it's sexy as hell, though, too.
Sure, definitely.
The ladies love the Wonka.
my
Wonka.
wife wants the Willy Wonka.
The ladies love the Wonka,
Yeah.
but listen, I the reason that I thought it was important you guys called out because Eric from Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin, Badger man, very
yeah.
very
Love the
prominent in
Badgers.
band there. I mean, and he's got stories that you'll hear that are outside of the pinball that are very like they're heartstrung, but they're cool stories. So the fact that you guys are out of Milwaukee, you guys are doing the podcast thing, I think just again furthers pinball. It increases its exposure, and it's from Eric's home state. So I think it's important that you guys at least know one another because Expo's coming up.
Sure. No, we will definitely be at Expo, but I want to say we're not doing it for the love of pinball. We're doing it for the money.
Yeah. Now you're really in it for the right reasons.
America.
All those
We
clicks.
have
All
made
those clicks.
so much money podcasting, you can't even believe it.
Yeah.
Ken, how do I make money like you, Ken? That's what I want.
Shit, I don't know how I make money like me because
Dozens and dozens of
I'm still
cents.
waiting for the checks to clear. I don't know what's happened. But,
I got a big safe
all
here.
those T-shirts.
You just need JJP on your show.
Man, you had to go there.
God forbid
That's right,
I
you know,
attempt
just
to recoup
need
a cost.
JJP.
That's horrible.
All right. You just need some JJP on your show. That'll get you some money.
Well, that's what we're trying to do here. We're not recouping costs anymore because that means we're forced into this issue. Right now, we're trying to make
that's
money,
what that means.
so we're bringing in the heavy hitters right now, and that's the JJP team of these guys. We got Eric Meunier, Keith Johnson.
What,
and,
what do we
Joe
get?
Katz.
25% of bits?
Oh,
tonight?
wait,
25% of the
hang on.
bits.
Eric,
Absolutely.
Eric, are you listening?
He is.
Eric, I am so sorry for slaughtering your name in episode 1, 2, and 3 of our podcast.
Eric hasn't listened to us yet.
So don't listen to episode 1, 2, or 3. Skip right to 4.
Listen, Eric has agreed to listen to your podcast because he loves his Wisconsin brethren. Like he had no idea.
That's
So
fantastic.
we already
No,
talked.
you really should.
We
It's
talked
a
about
good
you guys
time,
earlier.
but,
You guys missed the opportunity but you're here now, so that's what's important. So good times.
Yeah, well, we're always here. We were literally recording, and we were watching as we were recording tonight, so that was kind of cool.
I hope you were recording
But-
during Joe Katz game, which was the most electric game of the evening after having like 17
No,
horrible.
we caught that one. We caught that one.
We actually stopped for a moment so we could watch and cheer
There you
him
go.
on.
There you go. There you
We
go.
all clapped here because it was unexpected.
So recording a podcast while watching a stream.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Well, good times,
That
man.
is so meta.
Drew and Ian, thanks for calling in, and it's good that you guys are in the podcast ring. We're anxious to see where the
Thank you.
podcast goes, and again, you guys are doing what we're all trying to do, and that's just increase exposure for pinball in general. So, thanks, guys. Thanks for all your efforts.
JJP, great job, man.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you at Expo.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Expo it is,
Thanks
man.
for the kind words.
And Eric has a special message for you guys. So here.
Oh
we go.
yeah, what's that?
He's got to hold the flipper button.
He is holding the flipper button, folks.
I'm always holding my flipper button.
You guys
On Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin. Good times, gentlemen.
Biting my tongue on this one.
Really? That was worth all the contortions you just did?
Hey, be good and
I'm not
buy
gonna
some
say it,
scratch-offs,
but-
right?
Oh my
the poor man. The poor man's pinball podcast. Yeah.
If only there were a camera trained on you and people could have seen it, then maybe it would have been worth it.
Good times.
Wisconsin is
All right, so
awesome.
I think what we'll do
Not.
It's something.
as I come back over here.
Love you guys.
I love everybody here.
That's a good time.
As I'm twisting and turning, trying to make everything make sense. Listen, we're going to sign this off here in a few minutes. We're going to let Eric finish out the game that nobody is seeing very during the stream right now.
Everyone's,
Because we're all here.
requesting
Everybody
Eric's
wave.
score.
Everybody wave. We're all live.
We're still alive. We're still here.
We're still here.
But is there going to be like a triple secret probation extra stream afterwards? Or
Well, there's always, depending on how many
I do have to work
lighters
tomorrow.
are lit.
We've pulled the after hours before.
Well, we just pulled the Ken's Ubering home stream. So that's the other.
Well, it's easier for me last week because I watched a replay and I was like, oh, there's still time left. What's going on?
Right. Well,
It was pretty long.
If you watched any of our streams, there was no replaying that had to be had because we had nothing going on. But
Well, I had to see what I was getting myself into first. You know what I mean? So.
and you felt very comfortable coming in here because you're
Mostly it's a short drive home.
I
But,
was gonna say, immediately
I can
you're
do that
formidable
one.
because nobody can do anything.
So Keith
it's
is
fun.
what? Maybe 7-10 minutes away?
yeah, probably 10-ish.
10,
yeah.
10?
I'm not that far away.
So
but
we're good.
Yeah,
So
it's all good.
Eric's putting his
Eric had a game.
his initials in here. We're gonna switch mics here. We're at 10:16. We're gonna sign this off.
Yeah.
We're gonna let everybody go home. Eric,
Yep.
here. I didn't sweat that much.
Yeah. I keep sweating into these things and I feel bad.
Switch with you there.
Oh, we got another call.
Another call.
Should we just take it really quick? One more.
Oh, one more call on the flipping out.
Thank you for calling the Flip N Out Pinball Network. How may we be of service?
Yeah, I've been tuned into this show for the past couple of hours, and I was really entertained. I was wondering how I could get a T-shirt,
What kind of T-shirt?
a special when lit T-shirt.
Oh, that's on these guys.
special and lit
I could use one of
t-shirt.
those too.
Outstanding. Well,
You know,
If only we had someone to design them.
we do have special inlet T-shirts.
Huh.
And if you have an opportunity, go ahead and message us on Facebook at Special Inlet Pinball Podcast. We'd love to get a T-shirt out to you. That is not a problem whatsoever. I appreciate the fact that you're looking for a special inlet shirt. Now, I also
if you
realize
need
that
it,
there's a hook to this that I'm about to experience. So please keep going.
you're waiting for the hook. You don't know who this is.
I guess based on the
sounds like-
area code, yes.
I'm gonna. I need to send you guys some podcast tips if you don't mind.
Is this the one and only Christopher Franchi?
I believe it is.
It is.
Wow.
It is.
Wow.
I actually have a legit question.
I was really hoping I was selling a damn shirt, Chris. I did like you. Thanks for setting the standards up and dropping me down on that.
You know, me and Ed at TPF are going to do one podcast just so we can sell T-shirts and mugs.
There you go.
You have to do that.
Well, we got to get one out there. No, I actually have a question. I wanted to know how Joe and Keith felt having to work in an office with someone as handsome as Eric.
It's intimidating.
Intimidatingly handsome? Is that
Do you go home in shame every day?
I do.
I do, because my calves definitely do
I
not
was-
measure up to Eric's.
I was just gonna say because the way Zach and Greg talk about his calves, I can't help it. That's true.
All right, I got to
No,
go. guys.
wasn't Ryan the original?
Now he has to go.
original calf
Yes,
envier?
Ryan was.
Chris, thanks for dropping in,
right,
man.
right.
Good times. I appreciate it. Franchi in the house.
All right, guys, see ya.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, caller.
Well, I think
Better than Greg Bone.
I think on that note, we'll probably
That was a good call to end on, maybe.
Keith, I'm gonna switch with you real quick.
All right.
That's good.
There's nothing that makes me want to get that number off the screen faster than this going on right now. And I do appreciate it. This was a fun night. Now, what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna transition out of here. But before we do that, we are going to give proper thanks to everybody that contributed, not only in the chat, but for those that came into chat. So let's take this line by line. So tonight, the drive for the Flip N Out Pinball stream was this. there was a pinball machine that was released recently that we were very passionate about. It was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Now, there have been people that have wanted changes and people that were adequate with what was going on with the pinball machine. So tonight, we brought in Joe Katz. We brought in Keith Johnson. We brought in Eric Meunier to not only display the machine, but talk about the machine, talk about what's going on behind the scenes at Jersey Jack Pinball and how it correlates to this specific pinball machine. So I thank you, gentlemen, for your time and for your gratitude for coming in and doing the stream with us. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely
Awesome.
unbelievable. I want to go ahead. I want to thank Zach and Nicole at Flip N Out Pinball that give us the opportunity to take these new games and stream them, not for our own personal gain. We want to stream these machines because we want to share our experiences with them. That's what, we're not very good pinball players. We're not horrible pinball players, but we want to show these machines and we want to experience it like a home user would.
Yeah.
When they get these machines. So thank you so much for giving us those opportunities. We want to go ahead. We want to thank Penn Stadium for allowing us to illuminate the machines properly on stream, because nothing is going to illuminate those games on stream like a Penn Stadium kit. And if you get an opportunity and you have them on your home kit, they're not going to be dialed up as much as we have them here tonight. You dial them to your personal satisfaction. I want to thank PinQuest, who just jumped on board, and they gave us not only goals for the lowly Special Lit guys, but the JJP guys. And who was the guy that knocked it out of the park tonight with the 1 million score?
I don't know.
The guy that struggled all night long.
I don't know. It was not good for a while.
Right, it was not good, but
it worked out.
When the challenge rose,
right,
it was this gentleman that took down everything else. So I want to thank PinQuest for doing that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Listen, guys, I do want to say one thing. And I want to thank Maldi for the 1,000 bits. I mean, that's crazy. Thank you so much. When we do these streams, we do appreciate the bits. It's not about the bits. It's not about us trying to further our personal agendas with pinball. PinQuest Pinball, thank you again. Thank you so much for another 1,000 bits.
I broke $1 million there.
But yeah, he did. Well, I didn't even know that was supposed to happen.
Right.
But yes, thank you so much. Our goal here is not to compete with other streamers. It's not to compete with anybody's livelihood. It's not to compete with anybody that's trying to do justice to pinball. And what we're trying to do here is unique. We're trying to offer you a different pinball experience. We're trying to offer you a weekly experience where you can come in and have a conversation about a pinball machine. We're trying to bring in people that are behind pinball. We're trying to bring in those guests where they can get an opportunity to talk to the general public, where if you don't have an opportunity to meet them at a pinball show, you can come and you can meet them on this stream. You can call in and you can meet these people on the stream. And that's why I'm so humbled and so thankful that you three gentlemen took the time tonight to come in and do this. I think it's very important, not only for our stream, because again, it's not a livelihood of ours. We're enthusiasts. Mm-hmm. We're trying to expand pinball and create something different. But for you guys to come in on your own personal time and do what you guys did tonight, I think it speaks volumes, not only for your own personal character, but for the pinball manufacturers and the industry in general. So I thank you, and everybody in chat, I'm sure, thanks you. So thank you.
Our pleasure. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks,
thank
that's
the
you.
chats.
Yeah.
Thank the bits too. I mean,
yeah.
man, you guys are so generous. It's unbelievable.
Again, and PinQuest throwing bits out. Thank you very much. I wish it was easy for me to cover all this and put it all into words, but it's not, because I'm experiencing something that most people will not experience. When I step up to a machine, I review it not from a code standpoint and an audio standpoint and an art standpoint. I review it from a pinball experience standpoint. And when I initially sat down and I played Wonka, the experience that I had was the best pinball experience that I had ever encountered. And I went on record as saying so. And maybe I took some criticism for that, but I'm going to challenge everybody to do this. Sit down in front of the machine, play the game as it's intended in a home environment, and then challenge me on what I experienced when I had that same experience initially. Because the experience that I'm having right now in a home environment has not disappointed. It's the same experience that I had when I had as close to home environment at JJP. So I'm just saying this. Play this game. Experience this game. I'm open for conversation. I'm not looking for a debate because I'm not going to convince you of my feelings. You can only have those feelings of a machine when you play the game. The feelings that I have are the same feelings that I had when I played it initially. So please, everybody, sit down, play some Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory. Thank you so much, Joe Katz.
No problem.
Thank you, Keith Johnson. Thank you, Eric Meunier. Thank you. Where the hell is Bill Webb? Did he leave?
He's been gone for like
Bill,
2 hours.
He's gone? Oh,
this
snap.
has just gone really long.
We'll get the Dahlgren call it.
Right.
Thank you, Steve Beatty.
Right.
I just realized Bill's not here.
No problem, guys. You guys are welcome here
right.
anytime.
I was going to say, for Bill Webb and Steve Beatty, I'm Ken Cromwell. You're supposed to say, don't forget to take some time out of your day and play some pinball. Or whatever
Take some time out of your day and play some pinball.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, but seriously, guys, thank you so much for all your efforts. And
Thanks for watching.
yeah, thanks for watching. I can't wait for next week.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Franchi.
guys.
Frenchie for the win.
Franchi
See
for
you
the
guys
win.
at Expo.
Woo!
Woo!
Gotta find that promo video.